Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app. Available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gippy.
Well, good morning.
Tickets to see Hardy, who's going to be at the Walmart Amphitheater in Rogers a week from today.
Woo-hoo!
Get your tickets, amptickets.com. See what Gimpy wants to talk about. We got Conspiracy Theory Thursday. Mike Malega will join us to talk sports and Drillers baseball. And we got our top list today. Today, it's the top game shows you'd like to be on. We'll do that at 9, and we're toasting to our troops as we've teamed up with Shinerbach to toast to our troops. Go to the contest page at KMOD.com. Submit your name if you're a vet or if you know a vet to share their story with us. If we get them on the air, we're going to hook them up with a case of dinner for two at Mondo's Italian Restaurant in the heart of Brookside and a case of Shinerbach. So make sure you go to the contest page at KMOD.com.
Boom.
Jelly Roll is a veteran of the show.
Yeah.
We've talked about Jelly Roll a lot before he hit mainstream success. We've interviewed him. He's a solid dude.
I had to use my cooler as a chair because he's a solid dude.
Yes.
Right.
He said, I can't use that little chair. And then pulls my cooler over. All right, Dan.
Unapologetic for who he is, one of the endearing qualities I think about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says something apparently the last couple days that I'm like, well, that seems really crazy.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you judge for yourself.
Oh, I will.
Apparently, he only wears socks once and then throws them away.
Well, I mean,
Must be nice.
Yeah, if you got the money for that sort of thing. Maybe he's got bad athlete's foot, and that's how he keeps it under control.
Nope.
No?
He says, very Jelly Roll, don't judge me for this, y'all. I promise I grew up very humble, but I only wear socks once. It's the most frivolous thing I've done with my success. I've seen pictures of your house, bro, and cars.
Right.
True.
I'm sorry. I hope I don't let anybody down with that. But when you're fat, you can't have stinky feet too. So you got to have fresh socks. Go ahead.
Aren't they fresh every time you wash them?
Some would say, but thing is, there is no greater feeling. Let me rephrase that. There are few greater feelings in this world than opening up a package of socks and putting them on for the very first time.
I mean, it is true. And I just recently experienced this because socks are not something that I usually only wear them in the fall and winter months. It's very rare. I usually am in sandals. And most recently, I decided I'm going to buy some new socks. Marcus needed a pair, and I was like, I could use some new ankle socks or some no-shows. And, man, it felt good putting those bad boys on. So I was like, man, I know what these guys are now talking about.
That's the first time you've bought socks in 40 years?
I mean, no, but kind of. I mean, because I don't go through a lot of them. I have so many.
Okay, sure.
That I haven't needed to replace them.
Right. I've got socks that are 15 years old or older.
Sure, yeah.
I guess I'm weird. I know that's a newsflash. I wash my socks when I buy them. I don't put them on brand new.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wash anything I buy, I wash.
I'm with you on that one. Jeans, shirt, shorts, stuff like that. If it's prepackaged, though, and you can tell, like, it hasn't been returned, right? Because sometimes you can tell, like, somebody brought these back. They rewrap it. It's just not the same. So if it's prepackaged, socks, underwear, stuff like that, I don't wash them before I put them on.
So even underwear, even if it's in a bag, you will you'll just wear it.
Yeah, because they're prepackaged. They come clean from the factory.
I don't know if they come clean.
Yeah,
Someone's
you're
got to
right.
put it in the package.
And it's a sheet of fabric that they then sew into something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like it could have been stacked in a warehouse with mice crawling on it for all I know.
Yeah, I think I would see some pre-stained underwear when you get them out the package or whatever.
So it would have to be stained for you to be dirty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to think that the people at the Fruit of the Loom factory are not trying them on before they put them in the plastic bag. But, I don't work there, so I don't know. I just assume.
I mean, that's not a concern that I think someone's tried something on that I've worn, but I just don't know if it's clean
Okay.
in any way, shape, or form. And I don't come from the it has to be stained to be dirty camp.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, they smell clean. They
smell
brand
new.
Exactly. It's got that new undie smell.
Like they spray on it.
Whatever. It works for me. It does smell like somebody else's balls have been in there, so I'm all right with that. Now, with women...
Pretty high threshold, but okay.
Right. Women, they go to the Victoria's Secret, whatever, and they have the underoos just laid out there on a table for anybody to go pilfering through. And granted, they have that tiny piece of paper...
Sticker.
that you put on so your minge doesn't touch, other people's minge when they're trying on all this.
So they can try underwear on, which just as a man is so bizarre to me.
Right? I'm with you. I don't go to the Walmart, get up a pair of boxers or whatever, be like, I need to try these on or
Right.
You're apples and oranging. You're apple and oranging,
Why
right?
do you say that? Yeah.
You got to go to Victoria's Secret's considered a high end,
All right,
right?
yeah.
So you have to go to Macy's or no, I don't
I was
know.
going to ask, what's a high-end store for men's underwear?
I don't know because I buy sheath underwear, right? And it is not cheap underwear, but it's got a pocket in it. I really like it.
Right, yeah. I got
It
some of
comes in a
those.
package.
Exactly.
So I don't go to a store and try, nor would I.
Yeah, that seems weird, right?
So I don't know why women try on underwear.
Yeah. Guys don't get together. Hey, Steve, you want to come with me to the store? I'm going to go buy some underwear. Try some on. Let's see. No, guys don't have to worry about
What
that.
is the pocket for? Is it like the side pocket, like
Pocket?
a pair of
No.
pants?
Oh, on the
pocket,
end.
or
No, for your balls.
Yeah, it keeps your package all in one spot and keeps it
Okay.
from, shifting from side to side. It's really quite nice, to
It's
be honest with
awesome.
it. Yeah.
If I wear underwear without the pouch, I'm uncomfortable and constantly digging.
Yes, I have 2 pair, right? Because I got them at first before I got the Stacks underwear is what I use or whatever. And then I got the Stacks and I started going off with the pouch brand or whatnot. And then I try to put these other ones on and I'm like, this feels funny. I might as well just throw these away because I'm never going to wear them again.
Could you put a cup in there? Could you use them as athletic underwear?
Like a solo or like an athlete?
an athletic cup?
No, you could not.
Red Solo Cup, I hold you up.
There is athletic cups are different. There's a pouch usually in the front, right? Sometimes some don't even have a pouch. You just kind of holds everything in place. So, no, you could not put, nor would you want to. Athletic cups are not comfortable.
No.
Yeah,
That's what I
these
hear.
things keep them, loose enough to where they're comfortable, but yet it's firm enough where they're in place.
It's kind of like silencer on a gun. It's not an accurate term,
right.
right? It reduces the sound, and a cup reduces the trauma.
Right.
There's still trauma.
I get it.
Yeah. Unless it's a hard plastic cup.
I'm just saying sometimes
Which we have.
there's some that leaks out over the edge,
Yeah.
and you get a little bit of.
A zing.
I know. Think of it this way: every UFC fighter in a fight wears a cup. Most commissions require it, right? If not all. And how many times do you see somebody get accidentally kicked in the nuts, and they have to stop the fight, and the guy's vomiting,
Yeah.
or he had lost a testicle, and he's wearing, in a lot of cases, a tin tie-style cup. So it does not guarantee your balls are safe. It reduces the trauma.
It's like putting a fluffy pillow over it. Kind of dampens things a little
A
bit.
Tupperware container might be a little bit better of an
fair.
example, but
That's
yeah.
fair.
Let's see. Jelly roll, socks, sheath underwear, trying on underwear, cup. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to wash anything I wear.
Yeah.
Buy it from the store, no matter what.
There's a text here says, my wife must be a dude. She doesn't hardly try anything on. She just buys it and hope it fits. She also thinks Victoria's Secret is gross because of how they pay their underwear out. Whatever.
Lay their underwear out, maybe?
Out, yeah.
Because just a free-for-all?
Yeah, right. Undies.
It's the Ross of underwear.
Oh, God. All these panties just everywhere.
They try to keep cleaning up, but if you go in there, you're like, damn.
Yeah.
Do you like Victoria's Secret?
I do, but I don't try it on. You go, you know your size, you eventually know what styles that you like. But they actually, when you do go in there, they're not there for you to try on.
Then what are the dressing rooms for?
You go to them, they have certain ones for you to try on that aren't for sale. And they do have the protector on there. But not all of them that are just laid out willy-nilly are for you to try on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that work out with the thongs? I get you get the front part, cover the men's area.
You're going to love this. I know this answer.
But you got that string right up your ass crack. So how does that, you're getting somebody else's booty juice all over you.
You're not supposed to be naked.
Put them on over your undies.
Yeah.
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 But do you get a real feel for how they are?
It's hard to, I've never had Lycra in between my ass cheeks, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I imagine you've had one Lycra between your ass. You've had them all.
Absolutely.
So if they're not there for trying on, why do they all have that piece of sticky paper in it?
Honestly, I don't think that they do at Victoria's Secret.
Oh.
They don't. And the ones that I've never bought a pair of underwear there that have had that in the center.
I feel
You've never bought
that off before.
Just tags.
You've never bought a pair that has the peel away thing.
No, and as a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever bought a pair of underwear with that. Only bathing suits.
Yeah, maybe we're confusing bathing suits.
Maybe so.
So you're not supposed to try on underwear from the general bin.
Correct.
You have to find a helper and go, can I have your try-on underwear?
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not even sure that they do try-on underwear. It's bras that you try on. And even then, they have certain bras for it that they will bring you. These are our try-on bras.
You can't try the one on that you're going to buy.
Correct.
Huh.
They bring you out. Okay, here we know your size.
Actually,
direct you where to go.
Actually, bras, I can wrap my head around the willy-nilly-ness with it.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't wash them once every period cycle anyway.
Right.
Makes sense.
Like every 24 days, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like, your boobs are giving off crabs.
Right.
No, but you are giving off body oil and sweat.
Boob sweat, yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with a little bitty sweat? You know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay.
How often do you wash your socks when you wear them, Gimpy?
Like, I do laundry at least twice a week. So everything goes in the hamper.
But socks sweat?
Yeah, absolutely. I wash them. I take them off.
I'm just saying in comparison to a bra.
Mm-hmm. So, okay,
Sweat is sweat.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. So, like, women don't wash their bra, but maybe once every 3 months. Men should also not wash their socks.
No, I think you should wash it all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Bras are a lot of work. You got to get a special garment bag. I mean, if you really want to take care of your bra and make it last, you have a garment bag. It's so stupid. I hate the fact that we do have to do this if we really want to make them last longer.
Do you have to?
No, you don't have to.
Or do you just feel indoctrined to do that by the Bra Association of America?
I mean, it does help it to last longer because then it doesn't stretch out and wrap itself around everything in the washing machine.
All clothes.
Yes.
A washing machine is actually very detrimental to clothing.
Yes, absolutely.
We should just go back to washing them in the river and beating them up against a rock.
Oh, gosh. That smell.
No, thank you. I like my washing machine.
I have a sink in my garage, right? And it's like one of those utility sinks. And my kids we're playing in the mud or whatever. And so I went to rinse it out before I put it in the laundry.
Makes sense.
Right? Because I didn't want to clog mud up. Anyway. But it has one of those washboard things on. Never used it. Never used it, right? So I just was like, okay. And I just got it wet and used it. Bro.
Are you going to start doing your laundry with a washboard now?
Absolutely not.
That old ringer thing that you got to Gets all the water out? No way.
I'm just saying that it did I don't know if I needed to wash them after that.
Right.
It got everything out just by the agitation on the washboard. I was impressed.
Yeah.
What do we need this washer for?
Good. I'm good.
Oh, God, no.
I'm good.
I barely tolerate putting laundry into the washing machine.
It's so much better just to dump everything in there and hit a button as opposed to filling up the sink, putting in the soap, soaking everything, grabbing them, raking it up and
Wringing
down.
it out.
Yes. And then hanging it up on a line so the sun can dry it. And then all your clothes are weirdly
Standing up by
stiff.
themselves.
Right.
Good news, you don't have to fold it. You just stack.
Right.
Or build your hut with it.
Right.
Right. Golly. Thank God for modern times.
Yeah. So that means that Jelly Roll is throwing away 365 pairs of socks away. And you're right, like he can afford it, but also that's really crazy to think about because I'm sure he's not buying just Hanes.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe he is. I don't know. He says he buys in bulk, so I don't know if he pulls up with a pallet jack and at the Costco and goes, I'm here for my socks, y'all. I don't know if he sounds like that. But.
Close enough.
A little bit.
I don't know if there's a thing that I would throw away every day. Like use and then use once and throw away. I guess paper plates, but we've just been normalized that that's okay.
Yeah.
Paper napkins, paper towels.
Yeah.
But you can't really
Condoms.
wash those when you can wash socks. So maybe that's not a fair comparison.
Yeah. Definitely throw your condoms away after using them. You don't want to.
Sounds like a lesson learned over there.
You can only flip them inside out once, and then that's good.
I am so bad about flipping socks inside out. I can't imagine how long it'd take me to do that. What's happening?
Right.
Hold on. And then it's rolling the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it's already rolled. Have you ever? Is this inside out? Or I don't know.
Giant pain in the D, man. It's like, golly. By that time, the moment's ruined. It's like that Seinfeld episode with Costanza, you know? He was trying to get it on there, like, put a condom on or whatever. And then it's all gone by the time he opens it up because the package couldn't open it. It's terrible.
Why they don't do the Ziploc thing to open them, even though sometimes that's a giant pain in the back.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
You're like, you've ripped it too close to the Ziploc edge, and you're like trying to dig. You're like, I wish I had Coke nails. And get in there and pull it apart.
Right?
You got to get pliers. Have you ever done that? Have you gotten pliers to open up a Ziploc because it's ripped and it's like, nah.
I just take scissors and cut it off at that point. Whatever.
And then what? Then how do you keep it fresh?
You just use it all.
Use
We're
a
like
chip
we're
bag.
we're in it now. Whatever.
Right now we're just living reckless.
Pretty much.
Right.
Wow.
Welcome to my
I knew
life.
you were reckless, but goodness.
Welcome to my life, man.
Shredded cheese drying out in a
yeah.
day.
Getting all hard and crusty.
Yeah.
Listen, you put it in the microwave, it melts. It's all the same.
Well, yeah, it's got sawdust on it. I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
That's right, Corbin. It's bad for you. Tickets to Hardy, we're going to give away. Hardy's going to be at the Walmart Amphitheater in Arkansas at the Walmart Amphitheater. We got tickets for that. Like I said, we got to see what Gimpy wants to talk about. Conspiracy Theory Thursday, news quickies when we come back.
The Big Man.
Thing. We good? And she's like, no. You can't flush. So 1 hour. See you again. See you in an hour. And you're like, and if you didn't do the test, they fired you.
Oh.
And I was like, So I went and ate and panicked. Went back and did it again and was like, did not flush. Like she even put a note on the thing. Don't
Yeah.
flush.
Did she say, like, it happens?
No.
Or was she mean about it?
No, she wasn't mean about it, but she
Yeah.
also wasn't empathetic.
Yeah.
Right.
She's there to do a job.
Right.
She's seen all the tricks. You go in there and you're peeing like you're running out of, like you haven't peed in days.
Yeah.
He is well aware that you're trying to not pass a test. They're not stupid.
They've seen all the tricks.
Yes. Yes.
The question is, how many people lost their job there after that? Did anybody?
Good question.
No. No,
We're all Johnny Fever in
of
this bitch.
the places I've worked that have had drug policies, I've never seen and alcohol.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody get fired.
Wow.
And I know that some people
Yeah.
So maybe there was an internal like, hey, you get a warning and da-da-da-da. Next time, though,
We'll test you again.
Possibly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Robber uses sledgehammer at a gas station. So police in Nashville have arrested a man after he heard Peter Gabriel's song. Good old Robbie Kelly heard that song, was like, that's a damn good idea. And he's charged with robbery. He was smashing the window of a gas station, climbed through a window to take cash and ciggies. He's in jail on $15,000 bond. Really just a reason to play Peter Gabriel.
Absolutely.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. That song right there, when I was DJing at Rumors, the second swingers club that I was at, that was the boss's favorite. And I swear I would hear it at least 4 times a night. And I'm like, can I please stop playing Peter Gabriel?
Did he come over and be like, hey, man,
Where's my song?
play Sledgehammer?
can
I
you-
want to hear.
Can you throw on some Sledgehammer for me? Sure thing, Bobby. Gotcha.
Right. I always love when there's like a DJ who's wiki spinning. That is an art.
is.
Yeah.
DJing and picking songs in a selected format to try and get people to dance on the dance floor or to create a certain energy in a room is 100% an art.
Yeah.
And then you got someone coming over going, "Hey man, will you play the Macarena?" And they're like, oh, because you don't want to say no, but you do.
I'll see what I can do for you.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll see what I can do for you. And then they're like, well, here's a crispy Lincoln for you. And I'm like, ugh, all right, fine. I'll pay your Macarena for $5.
$5 to have some.
$5.
That's that feels stupid to me.
Well, it's better than what some of the people do. They would pay nothing or $1 to play.
That feels
listen.
$1 feels fair.
Maybe, but we live on tips. God damn it.
You made.
Not necessarily, but
Wait,
it
hold on,
helped out
Sonic
tremendously.
employee. What are you talking about?
I got my wages, yes, but the tips were always good and always
Of
appreciated.
course.
So here's the thing.
You said you made your living off tips, which implied you did not make a salary. You did not make money.
I mean, I did, but it helped add towards the living that I'm making these
Of
tips
course.
here.
Like we should then get tips.
Shouldn't we though? I love it. No, we can't leave a jar out front. The hobos will take it.
What was the
Nonetheless.
biggest tip?
His
More
name
than he
was
can handle.
He was about 6'7", 450 pounds.
Biff.
Massive.
Biff, what is his name? Tiny.
Ew. I think the biggest tip giggity that I got was, I think it was like a $20 bill. Yeah, it was a $20.
For one song?
For one song. Yeah, those drunk bitches, man, when they want to hear it, they'll pay for it. I'm like,
What's the
"All right."
most you hauled in a night, tip-wise?
Tip-wise is like $100.
Damn.
That ain't too awful
not
bad.
bad.
No.
And I don't have to split that with like, the other barbacks, bartenders,
Right.
waitresses, or whatever. That's all me. So that was
Would they split their tips with you?
No, hell no, never. But they had to split it amongst themselves
Sure.
or whatever. So I was total separate entity, got to keep everything.
I didn't. I've never tipped a DJ ever. Well, I've told him to get out of that career, but I mean,
Yeah.
I've never.
Horrible tip.
That's technically a tip. I've never. No.
Yeah.
Now, if you were did you ever DJ a gentleman's club?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't or wouldn't have back then, but no.
It's like having to be an employee at a weed store. What are you talking about?
Right.
Right?
That's true. Good point.
Nothing would ever get done. Cinnamon.
to work.
Wait a minute. Well, who's going to announce Cinnamon? Get off of Cinnamon's lap, Gimpy. Come on.
She likes me, man.
Right.
It told
We're
me.
trying to pay each other's electric bills. Come on.
Predictions that were made in 1923 of what it would be like in 2023, which is,
That's
for
cool.
those that don't know, you're 4 days into it. One, the workday will be only 4 hours long.
Ha.
Check.
Yeah, right. We got that one, don't we?
It says that because of electricity, work will only be 4 hours long. That's what they said in 1823. Women will blacken their teeth and shave their heads.
Well, I mean, there's some
wrong.
weirdos out there that would do that.
No.
You don't think?
No, there's no one do. There might be two,
It doesn't matter.
but it's not a thing.
Yeah. Yes.
It's now predicted that by the year 2023, only a mere little stretch of century ahead, women will probably be shaving their heads, and the men will be wearing curls. Those two things are true. Also, the maidens may pronounce it the height of style and personal pimping to blacken their teeth.
That's interesting.
Nope.
They had it wrong. Whiten their teeth, yes.
Whiten.
Yeah, right.
Whiten their teeth,
You're
yeah.
right.
Radio, yes, hi, will replace gasoline.
What?
Okay.
An expert in airlines and airplanes gives, he predicts that by the year 2023, gasoline as a motive power will have been replaced by radio.
Okay.
And the skies will be filled with a myriad aft going over well-verified routes. So he's not wrong, by the way. This is actually happening and true.
Mm-hmm.
The belief, we just didn't understand then how radio waves would affect airplanes.
Right.
Now we know that not to be a problem unless it's your cell phone.
Turn it off.
All people will be beautiful by 2023. I present at least 2 cases, Your Honor.
Be nice to Lindsay.
Life expectancy will be 100 years.
What? People are dying earlier and earlier, man.
No, they're
No.
not.
Cut that in half.
No. Life expectancy will be 300 years.
Oh,
my
Jesus.
God.
KMOD.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. News quickies are stories you may have missed in the news. We cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Man Morning Show in 97.5 KMOD.
Florida man gives whole new meaning to pickpocketing. Florida man is accused of stealing his roommate's Ford F-150 and his pants. 59-year-old Frank Wayne was arrested and charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle and petty theft pickpocketing after the incident that unfolded last week in Palm Coast. Deputies responded to a home on Boxwood Lane in Palm Coast on Sunday for a report of larceny and a stolen blue Ford F-150. Wayne's roommate said he believed his pickup truck was taken last Wednesday. Initially, the caller did not report the vehicle stolen because he thought that he would just bring it right back. Although he said he did not give permission to Wayne to drive the vehicle this time. Another person at the same house said his pants were stolen. Inside the pants were his keys and wallet that had $120 in cash. The pickup truck was found in Bunnell with Wayne at the driver's seat. They also found the stolen pants, wallet, and key inside the truck. He was transported to the Sheriff Perry Hall inmate detention facility where he remains held on a $5,000 bond. The sheriff's office said this guy gave a whole new meaning to pickpocketing. Not only did he pickpocket, he took the entire pair of pants.
Well, that's hardly pickpocketing.
Right. How long do you wait before calling the police when someone you know takes your vehicle?
When were they supposed to return it?
They don't say. They just come in, take your car.
Well,
It's your roommate.
I would think immediately.
If it's like
Ooh, it's your roommate?
or something, yeah, I'd give them a couple hours. Hell, I might even give them most of the day. If they didn't bring it back, if it's still gone the next day when I wake up, that's when we have some issue.
So you are my roommate. You take my car without asking.
Yeah.
How long do I wait to report you? Are we on good standings? Like you've been paying your rent? Like we're going to continue living together?
Sure.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to give you
put up,
a wide berth. If you're not doing your dishes and you're leaving things a mess and we're definitely not going to live together anymore.
Yeah.
And our lease is up in 30 days, I'm calling the police immediately.
That's fair.
This cat waited 4 days.
4 days is too much.
Yeah.
He could have been high.
That is
Good
true.
point.
Yeah, if he's high on the meth, that 4 days is really just one.
There's a guy on TikTok that is he calls himself a professional pickpocketer, which I find fascinating, but he goes through pickpocketing scenarios and if they work or not. And he is adamant about the Hollywood bump not being a thing. How in movies they show you just bumping into somebody and taking something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that, I could see him saying that doesn't work, but I have done that. I have bumped it, not as a pickpocketer, but like with my friends, like bumped into them and taken something. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine that does loss prevention, anytime I'm at where he does loss prevention, he does it to me. So I know it works.
Uh-huh.
Like I won't see him and I'll be checking out at the register and then I'll feel like somebody bump into me and I'll turn around and he's standing there and I'm like, oh, what's up, man? He's like, I just wanted to say hi. And I'll go to pay and he's like, hey. You're like,
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Fire breather beats off marauding mariachis in Turf War. This story is insane. The video
is even more
better.
insane.
This comes out of Mexico, where there's some street performers performing on a street. One of them is a fire breather.
Feels appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of them's a fire breather. The other is a mariachi band. So, the fire breather's sitting there minding his own business, breathing fire. Flames. Awesome. When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, one of the mariachi band members comes up to the guy, puts him in a headlock, and starts punching him in front of this taco place, right?
What kind of tacos? Like up a store?
It's just a taco shack.
Okay. That's not important. I'm sorry.
They're in Mexico.
you're-
They're good
you're
ones.
You're good. So, they're fighting back and forth, the mariachi guy and the fire breather. The fire breather gets down on the ground. That's when the other members of the band, the mariachi band, come over and start punching and kicking the fire breather some more while he's down on the ground. Well, eventually, the fire breather is able to get up. And he gets up, and then he starts shooting flames at the mariachi band.
It's a fantastic video.
Oh, it's great. They start scattering like roaches. Okay, some of them still on fire. The video shows that, they start ripping their clothes off. They stop, drop, and roll. Eventually, the mariachi band ran off, and the fire breather was the only one that had to be taken to the hospital for treatment. They say nobody else was hurt, and nobody was arrested.
I don't know if they're a legitimate mariachi band.
They were dressed in traditional mariachi garb.
I did not see the giant guitar.
Well, they put that down, man, because, how can you punch and kick somebody with a giant guitar in your hand?
What kind of logic is it to put down the largest weapon?
Right.
Well, it's an expensive weapon,
And
too.
it wasn't fully paid off.
Yeah,
maybe.
right. You don't want to damage your
someone stole
livelihood.
it.
Right.
Someone stole it.
Right. You think they got insurance down there on their mariachi guitars?
This is our corner. You go down with the other sideshow performers on 7th.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can be thinking that they're arguing about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Driver shoots woman out for a walk.
What?
This happens in Michigan, where a woman is recovering after being out for a walk with her man. The 36-year-old victim and her man were walking when a driver failed to stop at a stop sign and almost hit the couple. The man shouted words at the driver. Hey! The universal sign for you're in trouble. Who then turned his vehicle around and confronted the couple.
Oh.
After an argument ensued, the suspect pulled a weapon and shot the woman in the leg multiple times
Wow.
and then fled the scene. Officers arrived, put her leg in a tourniquet. She's okay. Police are like, both these people are victims, even though she's the one that got shot. Both these people are victims. Description of the car, apparently very vague. The couple can't, because it was like 10 o'clock at night. And the video that they have doesn't show much of the car other than it's a dark sedan.
Okay. Yeah, that's not going to help us any.
That does dramatically reduces the amount of suspects. Dark sedan, pretty common car.
Yeah.
And if there's not good cameras around,
That sucks.
yeah.
You're just out there minding your own business, trying to take a nice romantic stroll with your hubby, and you almost get run over and shot.
Yeah, for being like, hey man, you almost hit us.
Yeah.
Right. What are you supposed to do? You just sit there and keep your mouth shut and maybe give them a stern look?
Who's in the theory of stand your ground, who's in more danger there?
The couple is.
The pedestrians.
Yeah, because they have 0 weapons. The person in the car has 2 of them, the gun and the car.
Exactly.
Right. But if the person in the car who got out
He would've just
feels
stayed.
threatened.
You've got 2 weapons compared to none.
Remember, the concern of threat is what's at question. He could have felt threatened.
Could have.
I'm not saying he is. I'm not defending this guy. I'm just saying
If
it's a different element once he gets out of his car.
Yeah, if the couple, like one of the people in the couple had a gun and pulled it on him, I get that. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case.
And did he even get out of his vehicle?
Yes, I said that. He got out of his car,
Pointed
and
a
they got
gun.
into an argument, and then he pulled a gun and shot the woman in the leg twice.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Stand your ground, man. I will run a stop sign if I want to.
America.
All these stories are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BMMS69.
Tulsa's morning show, the Big Mad Morning Show. The assault continues next.
Isn't a knot for a 6-year period?
Right. Like you gotta
Maybe.
give him something to worry about. Please.
I'm good. I'm good on all that.
Do you know anybody that's ever gotten that gimpy?
I do. My nephew, as a matter of fact, came out that way and had to have surgery to get it fixed.
Oh, out of the womb.
Yeah.
How did so they had to do surgery
Yeah.
on a baby?
On a baby. They had to go
On a
cut
baby's
his little
balls.
baby balls open. Yeah.
Listen, they were already doing the top part, so
Right.
Yeah.
Might
At least
as well.
He'll
Just-
never remember it.
Maybe. Yeah.
know?
Maybe deep seated down in there somewhere. Maybe some hypnotherapy can bring it back. I don't know. But yeah.
I mean,
bizarre.
I hear you, but psychologically, they say those type of things live with you.
Right.
That you may not remember it, but your brain does.
Yeah. It's stored in the memory bank somewhere deep
Yeah.
down inside.
Yeah. Much like they were like, nah, C-sections are fine. It doesn't affect the baby at all.
That explains what
Nah,
we're listening to.
it doesn't.
It
How?
absolutely does.
How?
They don't get the gut flora.
You know the white
They don't.
cheese
Yeah.
that's
They
covered
don't
over
get
the, baby.
the bacteria from your vagina.
Right.
Vag back.
They don't.
I get that.
They don't. And so those babies tend to have more digestive problems.
Interesting.
Go down the rabbit hole. Nobody does more C-sections on the planet than America.
We're in a hurry. Turn and burn, man. Turn and burn.
I can't be inconvenienced. I got golf.
Right. Tea time at 4 o'clock. Let's get that baby out of here. Co-pilot was visibly upset before leaving plane in midair. So this comes out of North Carolina, where there's these 2 dudes, a pilot and his co-pilot, a 23-year-old dude by the name of Charles Crooks. So these guys were running a skydiving operation, and they're in the plane, and they'd already dropped off and picked up 2 sets of people, and they're on their way to pick up the 3rd one. Well, the co-pilot is actually the one that's operating the plane he at this point in time. So the co-pilot comes in for a landing, and it was a hard landing. Kaboom! Ended up breaking the landing gear.
Yeah, I remember the story.
Okay, happened in late July. So the pilot takes the controls, tries to get it back up in the air, back up to 400 feet. Meanwhile, while the pilot is trying to get things under control, he tells old Chuck here, hey, why don't you get on the horn with air traffic control? Let them know, hey, we need to divert an emergency landing. Well, instead of doing that, Chuck opens up the window and then barfs out the side. Typical, okay, the guy's shooken
Right,
up a little
adrenaline
bit.
dump, yeah.
Absolutely. So the pilot's like, hey, bro, get it under control. Get these people, on the horn. We need to make a landing.
together, man.
Yeah, instead, he decides to go ahead and lower the ramp from the back of the plane, and that's when old Chuck got up and then takes his headset off, starts walking to the back of the plane, apologizes, and jumps the hell out. Now, Chuck, the pilot did end up landing the plane in a field. Chuck was found in the back of somebody's backyard as a dismembered mess, and the incident is still under investigation.
Yeah. So, did he just go crazy in that moment?
I guess they said that he felt really bad for the hard landing, which I understand.
And the guilt just overtook him to just jump out of the plane?
Yeah, overtook him. Said that he was visibly upset and just said, you know what, F this, I'm out of here. and then there he goes.
Drugs.
Possibly.
Drugs feels like a better answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do you one better. Falling airplane part barely misses officer at Maine state capitol. So police officer's lucky to be alive after he was standing just a few feet when a 6 to 7 pound steel sleeve smashed into the ground outside the main entrance of the Capitol on Friday. An officer who works as a screener to the building was walking less than 10 feet from where the part fell. The FAA is investigating and says the part is likely from a large airliner on an international route. Or so they'd like you to think.
Is that common for parts of planes to just fall off like that? I've seen other stories where, like, the landing gear fell off and, ended up going through somebody's roof or something. But I feel like that's just every now and again.
This says things fall off aircraft every day. The Navy recorded an average of 460 incidents per year in the 80s. In the commercial world, Boeing received 200 reports of structural parts falling off its planes between 1989 and 1984, so a 5-year period.
Okay, so in the 80s, it seemed different because in the 80s there were a lot of plane crashes. Pan Am being one of the airlines that seemed like they had a bunch of crashes, which I didn't think was right, but I mean, whatever.
I think that the number of plane crashes every year isn't a lot.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but hold on, I'm getting to the 80s. We'll just go 86.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Oh, God. We're at a baker's dozen.
Yeah, but do you know how many flights there are a day?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot.
Thousands.
It's okay. So 13 out of 1,000, but still, man.
In a year.
Okay.
So times that by 365. That's not very many, bro.
I guess. It just seemed like
it's literally the safest way to travel.
Says you. As
not me.
Parts
it's
are just
data.
falling off.
Data. Facts.
How many times you be driving down the road and something just fall off of your car?
Yeah.
It's only happened to me once.
Yeah. And then it's usually later, like, where's my?
Right. I was driving. It was a 1980 280Z, okay? And rusted floorboards. It was a turd. I paid $700. We pulled it out of a field, right? Well, I'm in Owasso at 86th Street, right there by the highway. Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I was going eastbound towards, like, the Reesers or whatever. And I was at the stoplight, and I went to take off, and the car lifts up, whoop, and then, boom, slams on the ground. My entire, the strut tower, the whole shebang just came right off and left me on the ground. I was like, well, that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, I got it towed out of there and got it fixed. But I'm just saying, it doesn't happen to cars all the time. Seems like it happens to planes a lot. I call this day spa or dispensary, okay? So basically, I've got some businesses. These are legit businesses in Tulsa.
Fun.
It's either a day spa or a dispensary.
Okay.
Now, based off the name, you're going to chime in with and that's how you're going to buzz in. Corbin or Lindsay.
Okay.
Got
You
it.
get one shot and one shot only because this is a 50-50 chance. There's no point in, hey, would you like to guess, Lindsay? He said it's a dispensary. No, it's a day. So you only get one shot.
Okay.
Whoever wins at the end, I got a big prize for you. Okay?
Okay.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. The Harrison Butker thing just will not go away.
No.
And they had OTAs. They've started OTAs in Kansas City, as a lot of teams have. And Andy Reid was asked about Harrison Butker and his comments that were made. And, if Andy Reid's had a problem with players coming to his office. So here's the question, and Andy Reid hands it in fantastic Andy Reid style.
With so many women just on staff here and in the building, his comments kind of touched on women in the workforce. What do you tell them if they come to you with a concern about players speaking ill of women in general.
Yeah, that hasn't happened. I don't think he was speaking ill to women, but he has his opinions, and we all respect that. I let you guys in this room, and you have a lot of opinions that I don't like. So.
That was perfect response.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I agree. This has actually been a big point of contention with my wife and I, this situation. Because I'm of the do I agree with what he said? No.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want him to kick the ball.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? Not like the Chiefs anymore?
Well, yeah.
What am I supposed to? It's just an opinion. He isn't running a camp where he's, forcing women to be, birth babies.
Right.
That's a different thing. Mm-hmm. It's just he just said words.
Yeah, but words hurt, Corbin.
I mean, words can hurt. I'm a believer that words can hurt.
Yeah.
But this is just a speech he made. It's hardly a thing. But then to carry it over into OTAs when, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes' dad bod, that's a real concern. Is he healthy?
Hey, Freddie.
Whatever. Still the previous Super Bowl winner.
Mahomes in the same press conference, he said he didn't necessarily agree with Butker, but he defended his character. The quarterback said he's known Butker for 7 years and that he's a good person who cares about the people around him. The NFL has distanced itself from Butker's comments and said its opinions are not those of the NFL.
Have you seen Mike McDaniels was asked about it? Do you want to hear his take on it? I think Mike McDaniels is a fantastic coach. And here is Mike McDaniel getting asked the same question pretty much about Harrison Butker.
Recently that have drawn a lot of attention, and I'm wondering, do you, when it comes to political stances...
So in the video, McDaniel's being like, oh, God, here it comes.
Mm-hmm. That stuff amongst themselves, or do you tell them, leave that stuff out of the building? How do you handle the politics of general...
Well, I'm glad you asked. No, I think you can just you do have to open the eyes of the players to their platform if they're new to the situation. I think you have to understand that what you say publicly can be fragmented and last with you forever. So you just, I really emphasize to if you're going to say whatever you're going to say, you better believe it. And you just try to educate people to understand the consequences of whatever they do, just so they have the freedom of choice. And if they want to go that direction, go right ahead. I'll be over here hanging out with you guys.
So I think it's an interesting point. Hey, if you want to say something, say it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But understand, because of who you are and what you do, you have a little more voice power than others. So you better believe 100% of what you're saying, because it'll get fragmented and you get taken to task for it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. I think both coaches have handled that pretty brilliantly.
Yeah. The Dallas Mavericks surged late to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 108-105 in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals at the Target Center. Luka Doncic led the charge with 33 points, 8 assists, 6 boards to help the Mavs take a 1-0 series lead. Kyrie Irving chipped in with 30 points as Dallas closed out the contest on a 10-3 run. The two teams will return to the hardwood for Game 2 tomorrow in Minneapolis. The Eastern Conference Finals continue tonight with the Boston Celtics playing host to the Indiana Pacers at TD Garden at 7 on ESPN. The Celtics hold a 1-0 series lead. And that is your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundwork.
Corbin.
Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right, Clover Patch, Tulsa, day spa or dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
Whew.
What's the score?
6-8, Corbin's lead. All right, the Merry Mind, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa?
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a Dispensary. All right. The Relax Station. Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9-6. Path to Wellness. Day Spa or Dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Was that the
wellness.
problem?
No, I thought it said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Heirloom, day spa or dispensary? Heirloom, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Heirloom is a day spa. You're still in the lead, 9-6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Day
Spa.
spa or dispensary. The Tulsa Garden is a day spa. Good job, Lindsay.
Score.
We're looking at 9-7, Corbin's lead. Bella Roma Medical, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin, Bella Roma Medical is a day spa. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Yes, you are correct, Lindsay. We are now 9-8, neck and neck. Who is going to win, day spa or dispensary, and walk away with a big, big prize? Stone Age Meds, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. The Stone Age Meds is a dispensary. Uptown Wellness, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, Uptown Wellness is a dispensary.
Really?
We only got 2 left here.
Okay.
All right. So we got a chance to tie it and a breaker if we can do this. All right. Pura, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin is correct. Pura is a dispensary, puts him with the win, 10-8. I'll go ahead and give you the last one, see if you can guess it. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay would have been correct, which wouldn't matter because it's 10-9. Corbin is the big winner. Congratulations, Corbin.
What'd I get?
You want to know what you got?
Yeah.
My friend, I tell you, you have won my leftover potatoes. That's right, Corbin. I had dinner last night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I'm actually kind of hungry, so I think that's a fantastic
This is
gift.
perfect.
And you're not a horrible cook.
No.
So that's great. But, I just think it's just an honor to win. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Lindsay. She put in a valiant effort.
Listen,
And,
Corbin,
I just appreciate the competitiveness. And, I'm just one guy on a team, and we're just a team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best I can.
Well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right? So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea. Set right up front because nobody wants this. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a pack and you get to take it home with
Again, you put
Twisted
zero
Tea.
effort into the prize.
Yeah.
I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could, and we'll make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place because second isn't winning. So
Dude, Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right,
item.
right. Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
Drunk Florida man kicked out of bar, returns and attacks bar owner with belt. This happened last weekend in West Palm Beach. A 37-year-old man kicked out of the bar for being too intoxicated, but quickly returned wielding a firearm, according to an affidavit. Fabio Lano Sanchez, arrested by Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. According to records, he was released on last Wednesday with $60,000 bond amount. He arrived to the area on July 23rd around 2 a.m. The owner of the bar said that he shows up, he was a little drunk, then he got too drunk, and he started harassing customers. So they asked the man to leave. He left to his car but came back with a firearm. He pointed it directly at the bar owner and said, "I will shoot you." And then he threatened to shoot the bar's security. Well, then Sanchez decided, I'm going to just take off my belt, and started swinging it at the bar owner. He hit him multiple times. A security guard began fighting with the suspect, and the bar owner began fearing for his life. He told deputies that's when he called 911, and they showed up, arrested him, said he was going to kill everybody. The owner had an injury on his finger from the belt. The guy himself did not have any injuries. The suspect had some scrapes and bruises on his face in his mugshot, though.
That's a very underrated weapon.
Absolutely,
a belt is, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could do some damage with a belt. Trust me, I know. But to use it in like a street fight is not something you see every day. You hear about guns, knives, crowbars, baseball bats. I appreciate this guy for whipping out his belt.
Yeah, if you're good, like that whole towel whip, that people, if you can do that with a belt.
You could whip the S out of somebody. And you don't even have to towel whip them with it. You could whip them like a slave. Whap! Right across the face. That's going to hurt.
Get the buckle?
Oh, well, the buckle's good for handle.
Oh, that's true.
I guess I think of the scene from Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When Jones is in the street and the guy has the sword and he goes,
he's all over here.
And he just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Right.
So.
Well, everybody knows you don't bring a belt to a gunfight. However.
Apparently you do.
The owner didn't have a gun.
One of them had a gun, right?
Yeah,
he
the bad
did,
guy had a gun, but he decided not to use the gun. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I'm going to take my belt off and whoop him like a step kid. Quote-unquote Christian woman arrested at a splash park. This happens in Ohio, where cops were called out to the Cedar Point Shores Water Park there in Sandusky. All right, they say that a woman that describes herself as a Christian and a grandmother was arrested because witnesses told her that she called a child a brat, a fat ass, and then pushed him off a floating toy.
I mean, brat,
right,
fat ass,
and then pushes his tubby ass off the floating toy. Get out of here, fatso! Yeah. So they show up to this water park because this elderly woman, she's 67, and she's picking on this kid. They talk to the mother. Her name's Jennifer. She told them what was going on. And she fingered the 67-year-old woman. She's over there. The cops go over there, and they talk to her. They're like, what's your name? And she says, I am Jennifer Lee Miller. And then she gives them an address, a date of birth, phone number, all the information they're looking for. And she admitted to calling the kid a brat. But she denied swearing at the child and says that she never touched him at all. She says that she's a good Christian woman and a grandmother and would never do such a thing. Anyhow, other witnesses contradicted what Jennifer had to say. And that's when the cops are like, listen, Miss Miller, if we have to come out here again, we're going to arrest you for disorderly conduct. And that's when Jennifer's like, okay, fine, whatever. So the cop leaves. And then I guess something clicked in the cop's brain like, something didn't seem right about this whole situation. So he goes back to the water park. And I guess Jennifer, Ms. Miller, the 67-year-old lady that called the boy a fat ass and a brat and pushed him off the float, she gave him a fake name, a fake address, and a fake phone number. Right, that just went to busy. I guess the cop tried to call the phone number, and it's all ding, 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 ding. Sorry, you're busy. Anyhow, so they go back and talk to her about it. And she said that she didn't have an ID and that she felt she was being harassed by the police. She eventually admitted her name was Janet Nail, and they took her in for obstruction.
I love when people use whatever thing to validate their behavior or to invalidate their behavior. Like, I would never do that. I'm a teacher.
Right.
I would never do that. I'm a woman.
Right.
I would never do that. I'm a family man. I would never do that. I'm a veteran. I would never do that. I'm a Christian. Like, settle, people. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. At 9 o'clock this morning, we want to show you the money when you rock the bank. Listen for that nationwide keyword, and when you hear it, enter it online at the website that rocks, KMOD.com. You'll have 8 more chances throughout the workday to win $1,000 and spend it however you want. Good luck.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. We want to toast our troops. There's still a couple of days for you to get signed up for this. This is where we get a veteran hooked up with the case of Shiner Bach and dinner for 2 at a Mondo's Italian restaurant in the heart of Brookside, simply for sharing the story of your service. You can sign up at the website that rocks, KMOD.com, if you're a vet, or if you're not a vet and you know a vet and think they deserve that, you can sign them up at KMOD.com as well.
Be around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, on the give train. Be around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, give train.
You are my kind of cripple, Gimpy. Tremendous.
So here in a little bit, we're going to be giving away tickets to go see Hardy at the Walmart Amphitheater there in Rogers next Thursday, right? And if you didn't know, Hardy is a crossover musician, right? He even mentions it in his new song, Rockstar, that we play here on KMOD, how he started off, you know, in country, talking about hunting and doing country stuff, and then he made a song about whiskey, and everybody started playing it, and now he's more of a rock guy than he is a country guy, which I think is pretty awesome. It's one of the things I like about him most. I'm a huge fan of country music. That's no secret, right? People give me hell all the time. Oh, you work for a rock station, but you listen to country music. Yeah, even our old boss, DC, used to do the same thing. Yeah, working on a rock station, listening to country. Whatever, dude. I like it. It's good music. I grew up on country, anyhow. But I was surprised at, like, how many artists have crossed over from one genre to the other, mainly country music. Okay. So it put me down this rabbit hole of like all the musicians and artists who have crossed over from one genre to another one. I think the most recent one, which I don't agree with it, okay, but it is what it is. That'd be Beyonce with her latest album and the songs Texas Hold'em. That's the only one I really know, whatnot. I don't consider it country. It's got a bit of a country feel to it-ish, but for the most part, it's Beyonce music.
Do you know who Rick Beato is?
I do not know who Rick Beato is.
He's got a YouTube channel, does music stuff, really great guitar player.
Uh-huh.
He does in-depths on musicians and how they do things, specifically guitar stuff, but even lyrically. And he goes in on Beyonce and just rips apart that Texas Hold'em song.
Good.
Yeah, how horrible.
Rick Beato,
lyrically.
huh?
Yeah.
I have to write that down so I can
Yeah,
remember.
you and I have talked about him before off air, and we may have mentioned him on air before, but he's awesome.
Okay, I'm going to have to check that out. So, all right, so with Beyonce, cool, that's one of them. Another popular one, I think, would be Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is another crossover artist, started off in country in Nashville and then kind of made a big splash on the pop scene, and I think that's kind of where she's at now, which she still kind of, from what I gather, still incorporates a little bit of her old country roots in with her newer stuff.
Isn't it fascinating that with Taylor Swift, how people are like, sell out, but with Hardy, they're like, cool.
Right.
It's a weird double standard.
And I get it. Get your money, man. That's what I say about Beyonce, right? You know, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's country music, but get your money. Do what you got to do.
I think she's doing it to try and prove she can do anything.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. And a lot of these artists that have crossed over have done really well, I think, anyway. When you think of the main ones, Taylor Swift, Hardy, Darius Rucker, for example. You know him from Hootie and the Blowfish, right? Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, and when they first came out, Hootie and the Blowfish, you're like, oh, this is awesome. I want her my hand, whatever, right? But now you like you listen to Hootie and the Blowfish. Well, yeah, they're still good. They're still all right. But Darius has made a really good career in country music.
He's had a third act, if you will. But I think that when you see people move to country, like Darius Rucker as the example, that is him still wanting to do music, doesn't want to do pops, always like country.
Right.
The splash he makes in country will never be close to the splash that Hootie and the Blowfish make.
No.
Not even close.
He is way better as a solo country artist than he was with Hootie and the Blowfish. Just look at the number of hits that, comparable to that Darius has had on his own and Hootie and the Blowfish. Hootie had maybe 4 or 5 hits when Darius, just one right after another.
And
I think. Anyway.
And I think there's also another part to that kind of gets overlooked, where a country artist moving over to pop usually is not intentional.
Right.
And it just kind of, Taylor Swift, it just kind of evolves into that.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Think about Chris Gaines.
Doesn't count. He wasn't Garth.
Right.
It wasn't Garth Brooks. It was, but it
right.
It wasn't, but it was, saying. But it wasn't.
Right. I get what you're saying. We all knew it was Garth, but he was trying not to be Garth.
And
that
he's
was
like,
an alter
I'm
ego,
going to
whatever.
do a pop album. Right? Very few country artists do that.
Yeah.
They have some sort of country song that crosses over.
Yeah. Shania Twain's another one. Country artist that crossed over into the pop scene, I guess you could say.
I don't think that's true.
She crossed over, but she didn't stay too long.
She had a song crossover.
Yeah.
That's not the same.
Her album just crossed over, I think.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of them that will do that. I think Lady Gaga is another example of, I tried a country song for a little bit, didn't really work out, but I'm
not familiar.
No.
Go ahead, Lindsay.
That was just for the film.
Right.
And it was so popular that they played it on
What are we talking about?
The movie with Bradley Cooper.
Star is Born?
Yes.
Was that a country song?
It was considered a country song. From the research that I did, she's crossed over from a lot. Started off with the pop whatnots, and then over to country with that song, and then over to jazz with Tony Bennett.
Yeah, she did the crooner stuff.
Yeah. But again, there's a lot of them. Aaron Lewis from Stained is another one that I personally like his country music. There's a lot of people out there that scoff it, but if you sit down and listen to it, it's really not that bad. It's not that bad at all. There was another one. The Kid Rock is another one that.
Well, that's different. He's always been that guy.
No, he hasn't. He started off as like a wicked DJ, and was doing the rap hip hop sort of thing.
I meant redneck.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But when he crossed over into country, I didn't like his country music.
What's his country song? He
bought a song from Jason Boland, and I forget the name of Jason Boland's song, but Kid Rock calls it Purple Sky. And it's not good. It's not good. And I think it was right after Rock and Roll Jesus. And that's kind of when I fell off with Kid Rock after Rock and Roll Jesus. I was just like, okay. But from the research that I've done, he's considering himself a country-esque star now because of his honky-tonk bar in Nashville. He's laid his roots down there and blah, blah.
He has? He's given up his Detroit roots.
That's from the article that I read. From the article that I read, he's considering himself country.
Okay.
We've talked about it before with Steven Tyler being crossing over and trying to do a country album. When we listened to it, and that was hot garbage. All right, so it doesn't always work for everybody. But like I said, there's a buttload of them out there that have. It says here that Elle King, oof. So it says here that she started off in the rock genre with her song X's and O's. And I listened to that song, and I don't consider that a rock song at all.
Pop rock.
Pop, yes. Maybe a little rocky, yes. But she started doing work with Miranda Lambert and Dierks Bentley, and then she's like, well, this country stuff is working for me, so I'm going to stick it here. What are you cackling about over there?
Because she got really drunk on stage at the Dolly Parton thing, and then they're like, ooh. And then it probably tanked after that.
Yeah, so I consider her more pop than rock before, but now I consider her more country than anything. Another one here that they say Cassidy Pope is another one that started off in the pop genre but moved over to country. I've always just considered her a country girl, in my opinion.
Carrie Underwood is another one.
Yeah, she started off in country, right? And then I want to say she stayed country. I don't think she ever really crossed over into the pop. She's like
She had a country song that became a mainstream success.
Right.
But I don't think she's put out a pop album.
Right, much like Shania Twain, as we were talking about
I don't think
earlier.
Shania Twain put out a pop album.
No, but she had a song or an album that crossed over, but she's remained mostly country music since then.
Yes.
So same way with Carrie Underpants.
And I don't count Carrie Underwood because she did American Idol as being pop. She was country on that.
Yeah, she was as country could be, I think.
But I think she's done plenty of crossover music as far as...
I don't think she's done pop songs.
I mean, Champion. That's a...
Again, if you have a country album and put one pop song on it, that is a song that crosses over. That's not a pop album.
Right.
Where Taylor Swift has done pop albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It says here that Jessica Simpson is another one of those country or artists that moved from pop over to country, and I don't agree with that. She might have done one album or one or two songs, but I wouldn't consider that a crossover.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't even barely call her a singer.
Right. Jewel is another one.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Jewel's always been like a folk singer, though.
Yeah,
and
that's a thin line.
Yeah, I consider
but she's
folk
been
music.
on top 40 Billboard.
Yeah. But
hey, she dated a rodeo guy.
Good for her.
Fine, forget it.
Fix your damn tooth, Jewel.
Why?
I don't
It's her
know.
Yeah.
trademark, man.
Right.
Helps her yodel.
They say here that Bon Jovi tried doing a crossover in the country, and I'm like, well, that doesn't seem right at all whatsoever. But on the other hand, too, it also said Lionel Richie. This article that I found also says Lionel Richie did a crossover. Now, just because you get together with half a dozen country artists and put together one song as a collaboration, that doesn't make you a crossover artist. That just makes you getting a little help from your friends, still trying to stay relevant.
So here's Bon Jovi's country album. The quote hit song on it was called Lost Highway. You hear the steel guitar? Get out of here.
Trinkets once were treasure. Life changes like the weather. You grow up,
Telling a story. Got a little twang in the song.
They spin the formula.
That is the formula for country music.
Exactly.
Holy Jerry Curl.
white lines passing by with my plastic dashboard Jesus.
Got Jesus in there.
Yep.
To greet us. Hey, I finally found my way. Say goodbye to yesterday.
I don't like it. I mean,
I don't mind it, but it's definitely not country.
It's
100%
country. He's got no twang.
he's not traditional country.
We have
like
talked
you're
about
saying.
this. Twang in your voice does not make you country.
It helps.
It's
in my opinion.
It's gotta have. You gotta talk about a girl, okay? And Hardy says it best in one of his songs, country song, or this ain't no radio song or whatever. It's like it's gotta talk about a girl, and it's gotta rhyme a world, and it's gotta make you tap your foot, or else he's gonna lose his record deal or whatever.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it says here that Ween, the
band, yes.
Ween, the band. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense, but apparently 12 Golden Country Greats was one of their albums that they put out. I don't think that's a crossover. I think that's just we want to do something different. If you think about it like with Seether has a song called Country Song. Why is it called Country Song? Because they recorded it in Nashville, but it's not really a country song at all whatsoever.
Well, and Ween is a band that you can't really take seriously. And if anything, I would call it alternative country, that album.
Okay.
Which now we're totally segmenting way out. There's bedazzled country.
Right.
There's boot scooting country. I mean, I just don't think you would consider Ween country in any way, shape, or form.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't either. Now, if they're just doing an album with a bunch of different covers, no, it still wouldn't be country. Other bands that have crossed over, maybe not so much into country or whatnot. This is one that I found very interesting. The Bee Gees. The Bee Gees weren't always a disco group. Apparently, the Bee Gees were a rock band before they decided to go ahead and cross on over into disco. And it says here, the British trio of brothers are known as the leaders of the 70s scene, but the Bee Gees embraced such different styles during their early years, performing through the 50s and 60s. The Gibbs played venues across the UK as a rock and roll outfit, the Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, but then you could say that's a different band.
Yeah, totally. And you can, because it's a different name, obviously. That's a different band, but it's the still same group of people, and they're like, this rattlesnaking thing I'm working for me. Let's go ahead and jump on this disco train here. And it worked for them. It says the Beasties were another one, which I would agree. The Beasties started off as hip-hop rap group and then crossed over and made a very solid thumbprint in the punk industry.
Actually, the Beastie Boys started out as like a pop group. They opened for Madonna.
That's right.
When Rick Rubin was helping them. And I've got this awesome photo of them playing their first show with Rick Rubin. And they're leaned up against a car in front of the venue, and it says Madonna on the marquee. And then underneath it says, with special guest, the Beastie Boys. And it's them. And then they also have done punk.
Right.
So, like, they kind of evolved in who they are.
Yeah, they know a little bit of everything there. Lastly here, which one that surprised me, a crossover artist, is Michael Bolton. Michael Bolton, king of soft rock, right?
Yeah.
And apparently, he wasn't always a family-friendly kind of guy. It says here that he spent years chasing success in the hard rock scene as the frontman for his band, Blackjack. I can't see Michael Bolton in a rock band at all whatsoever. But
He had the hair for it.
apparently, if it didn't work for him, Blackjack wasn't working out for him. He's like, you know what? But I got this other stuff, a little bit softer. Yeah, why not?
Some people text in a couple. One, Kenny Rogers, agree 100%. He crossed over pretty easily.
Yeah.
No one's mentioned Dolly Parton,
Okay.
right? Dolly Parton has many incarnations as an artist.
Yeah. I've always known her as a country music artist, and I'll
100%.
always remember her as a country music artist.
Sure.
I know she's done other things, but she'll always be.
You're doing the thing that I think a lot of people do when someone crosses over is they get all purist and they're like, no, she's country.
Right.
Well, no, like that's who she is, and she definitely has that identity. She could also just be a musician.
Right, and just love anything.
Yeah, just play music, much like Taylor Swift, much like Kenny Rogers, much like Johnny Cash.
Right. He's considered rock in a lot of places.
Yeah,
but,
and somebody texted in the Zach Brown Band had a pop album and crossed over. He definitely had one. Mm-hmm. Success might be an argument, though.
Right. It's kind of like with the Beyonce thing. Got the album.
No,
Is it gonna
Beyonce, she can get the stamp.
You think so, huh?
It was number one. It was a number one album.
Yeah, I guess.
And a number one song.
Mm-hmm. Is it still, though? Or was that for just a week or two?
Does it matter? She has a number one country song.
Yeah, I think it matters. Well,
wait, hold on. How long does it have to be number one? Because you've cited some artists that crossed over and giving them credit for being pop, that their songs didn't do well.
Right, I think you have to have a number one album for probably more than 30 days. You know, if you get like a flash in a pan and you're number one for a week or two, that's kind of like, think of like radio stations that aren't normally number one, but they get that weird kiss and, their ratings skyrocket.
People don't understand that. We can't talk about that on the air.
Either way.
But the Darius Rucker, hey, name how many number ones has he had in country, right? But we title him as a country artist. Aaron Stan. I'm just going with the arguments that have been made. To me, Beyonce, whether I like it or not, she can claim being a country artist. She had a number one hit and a number one album in that genre. Probably going to win an ACM.
Okay.
So award-winning, chart-topping, album-selling country artist.
Still sucks ass.
Do you think it's because of her name
I think
recognition
so.
though? Too?
I think so. I
Do you
think a
that
lot
has
of
anything to do with it?
I think so.
Maybe. But
there's a lot of country artists out there that are agreeing that, like, this is not country music, Beyonce. You're just getting it because of your name and who you are.
You don't just get that given to you, right? There's a demand for the music. And there have been plenty of artists that cross over the other way, and it don't work.
Right.
There are people that are country fans of, let's use Zach Brown, that did not buy his rock album or his pop album.
Right.
Where Taylor Swift moved over and people gravitated towards it. You're implying that all the pop fans bought the country song, and all the pop fans listened to country radio. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Either way, there's a lot of them out there that crossed over. I was surprised, and we're going to be giving away tickets to one of those crossover artists here in a little bit when we come back.
Be around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, on the give train. Be around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, give train.
Tulsa's
Back up, open the hatch, dump, pull away.
Same. Yeah.
That makes sense for like private residences because mostly in trash bags, and if there's anything that's too large to go in there, let's say a couch or lawnmower or something like that, usually go beside the trash can, not inside of it, So I can see why they wouldn't go digging through your particular trash, a private residence trash. But with public dumpsters, these big ones, we got people out here all the time dumping stuff in our dumpsters in the back parking lot here.
Yeah, but the Trashosaurus Rex comes and gets it.
Right.
They don't even get to see, most of the time they don't even get to see in it.
Right.
And again, they back up, dump, never even seen again, from what I've seen, maybe they do stand out up beside it and watch it. But people that are trash people that are listening to the show have told us they don't get out of their rig.
Mm-hmm.
Only to open a gate to get to the dumpster is the only time they get out of their rigs.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what that day was like when the automated garbage trucks came through, like the day that they got those, or they were told they're getting those, what that day was like.
They probably hated it.
Why?
Because it eliminated jobs.
Oh, that's true. Well, I still see 2 or 3 people in those trucks.
For residential, but for Trashosaurus Rex that picks up the dumpster, it's one person.
Right.
Okay. Kelly Sarber, the president and CEO of Strategic Management Group, again said that we had a woman in New York City mistakenly toss her diamond ring into the trash. She then paid an undisclosed amount of money to have one of the massive barges that took waste from Manhattan to Fresh Kills landfill pulled out of service so the garbage collectors could dig through the thousands of tons of trash until they found it. And they did find her ring. Raccoons. My favorite thing about emptying people's trash is the raccoon surprise. You open the top of a can and stick your hand in to grab the bag, but instead grab a raccoon or two. I saved a few of those cute little creatures.
Cute. Get out of here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Text came in. I also learned that people tip the trash man with cash and beer.
Nice.
I mean, cash, I've done that. I've tipped the trash people. The problem is they're not always the same people on every route.
Right.
And then, so I'm thinking them, for the one time they did? I don't know. But to tip beer, I don't know if they drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're just assuming at that point, and then they take it anyway just because of the gesture. Oh, thanks.
Right,
I'm
and
a
throw it in the
recovering
trash.
alcoholic,
Yeah.
asshole.
They're like the rich people who throw away new shoes.
Right.
Yeah. Brand new electronics. My friend's dad was a garbage man, and when he would pick up from places like Walmart, Best Buy, if they had TVs or PlayStations, any type of electronics, laptops in the garbages, he'd bring them home. He had friends that would fix them, and we'd get new electronics. Not bad.
I know a lot of people that have done that.
Yeah.
Go dumpster diving and find stereos and TVs and stuff.
Yeah. Hospital biohazard waste. I ran a large trash hauling company in Georgia for 3 years. I can't tell you how many times hospitals threw their bio waste out to save on disposal fees. It got so bad the landfill ended up reporting them to big fines.
In this state, you can take a thing of syringes, and as long as it's in not a Sharps container, but a container that cannot be punctured, like a thing of laundry soap, you can just write Sharps and then throw it in the trash.
Huh. How about
that? Someone texted in, I work for Waste Management. It does happen often. Homeless and crackheads sleep in the cans that I pick up, and it is cray-cray. Yeah. So anyway, one man's trash isn't always another man's treasure.
Overwhelmingly, you gave us garbage. Thought we'd do a little fill-in-the-blank news. I'll read part of a headline, leave part of it out. If you can guess the blank part correctly, good on you. First one, Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll. Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll.
That's fun because they got so many different ones now. They've got prosthetic Barbie. They've got slightly overweight Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie. I'm trying to think of the other Barbies that I've seen at the store. They got a handy-capable Barbie in a wheelchair.
Think it's a transgender Barbie?
It wouldn't surprise me. We'll go with trannies.
If you've seen the movie, you know Kate McKinnon is a breakout character in the movie. Weird Barbie, from the hit movie Barbie, is getting its own doll. The doll, inspired by Kate McKinnon's character, and is complete with a pink baby doll dress, short, spiky blonde hair, and pink and blue highlights, squiggly forehead line, and a circle around her eye. Announcing the doll on Instagram, Mattel wrote, "Barbie knows what it's like to play just a little too much. The Barbie movie has earned more than $1 billion at the global box office, making it the first film solely directed by a woman to ever cross that mark. Funeral home is offering blank-themed coffins. Funeral home is offering blank-themed coffins.
I saw this and I thought, okay, come on now.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so
In
be a number of things. Marvel, Barbie, themed.
You nailed it. Nailing
Well,
the
that
coffin.
Ruins the
What would
entire
you-
time limit that we have.
What
left
would
here.
you want your coffin to look like?
Not Barbie.
Well, neither would I, but that's what people are supposedly paying for. Barbie,
But you're not
pink.
Barbie fans.
I am.
Right.
I love Barbie. But
Sure. Do you have anything Barbie themed in your home?
No.
Okay, then
Absolutely not.
But that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Is that it would have to be something you're a diehard for.
Right. Mine be like cannabis themed or something like
Yeah.
that. PlayStation.
Barbie Mania continues to sweep the world. One funeral home in El Salvador has boarded the Barbie bandwagon in a big way. The Alpha and Omega Funeral Home in Achapan is offering a pink Barbie-themed coffin for people who want to take their obsession with pop culture sensation to the afterlife. Each of the metal caskets is decorated with stars and features lining imprinted with pictures of Barbie. One of the spokespeople says, we have to jump on this trend, adding he's already sold 10 of the coffins. It's been a success. The coffin is the latest bizarre Barbie merchandise to be released in Latin America, which has also seen products such as Barbie lunchboxes, pink tacos and pastries, and even Barbie-themed airplanes. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank.
Drivers. Right. That's every state. Can't honk their horn. Okay. Yeah, noise ordinance. Can't get out of your car with a can of spray paint and spray paint the person behind you.
Can't pass other drivers. Can't
Okay.
use the express lane.
Okay. All those sound like good ideas.
New Jersey is the only state in the U.S. where drivers can't pump their own gas.
Huh.
It comes as long. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's play a game. And we're giving away tickets to Hardy, who's going to be at the Walmart Amphitheater in Rogers, Arkansas a week from today. Tickets available at amptickets.com. We're going to play Schnipp, Schnapp, Schnurr. Current record is...
Looks like I am leading with 8. Lindsay has 7, and you have 4.
Last week's winner?
That'd be you.
So it's going to be Lindsay and Gimpy at 918-460-KMOD, 918-460-KMOD. Call up, decide who's going to be your clue giver. Whoever gets the most right is going to win those tickets to see Hardy over in Arkansas. 918-460-KMOD. Let's go to the phones and get our first contestant here. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Keith.
Keith, how are you today?
I'm good.
Keith, who do you want to give clues, Lindsay or Gimpy?
Gimpy.
Keith, 60 seconds are on the clock. Timer starts after the first clue. Keith, are you ready? Keith, are you ready? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm just going
Good
to go ahead
luck.
and mark Lindsay down for the win on this one.
Wow.
Keith, this is something that you use to unlock doors, and it can unlock any door in the house.
Skeleton key.
Yes. This is a type of material. All right, finish this. You put this in your washer to make the material softer. It is blank softener.
Softener.
What's the first word in the blank softener?
Downy.
No.
Fabric.
There you go. When you take a paddle and you put it against somebody's butt, you just did what to them?
Taps.
No. Another word for masturbation is blank the monkey.
Spake.
Yes. This is a type of sweater that Mr. Rogers wore.
Wool.
No. Maybe.
No, it's
Okay, you have a type of vehicle. This is just a breakdown of the word. You have a blank and a truck. A blank is small, has 4 doors, usually.
Car.
Yes. What is a sweater that starts with car?
Oh,
Time. 3 is time. 3 is what you got. Keith, might be good enough for the win. Hang on the line, okay?
Okay.
Gimpy's patience is like razor thin. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
It's Karen. Good morning.
Did you say Jen?
Karen.
It's Karen.
Karen. Okay, Karen. 60 seconds are on the clock. You have to beat 3. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. This is a form of gaming system before the Nintendo.
Sega, Nintendo, Atari.
Yes. This is you have a lifetime blank on this or your money back.
Subscription.
No.
Warranty.
No. What?
Warranty.
No. We are going to blank this product or your money back.
Guarantee.
Yes.
Guarantee.
Yes. Black-eyed blank. 2.
Please.
Yes. You've crossed the blank line. Congratulations.
Finish.
Yes. Mickey's girlfriend at Disney.
Minnie.
Oh, yes. Finish. Her last name is what?
Minnie Mouse.
Yes. Oh, this is a great big boat.
A yacht.
Yes. Blank Springs. Place where.
Hot.
What?
Hot Springs.
No.
Time. Congratulations, Karen. You're going to get those tickets to go see Hardy over in Arkansas. Get your tickets at tickets.com. Hang on the line so Gimpy can get your info and tell you how to get those tickets, okay?
Thank you.
Gimpy, this is the one that she ended on.
Yes. Some people would say this as a form of exclamation. It is also a place in Arkansas, not Hot Springs, but the other springs. It's a vacuum as well.
Yeah. There's a statement sometimes people make where they're like, blank, I found it.
Right. A form of exclamation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the one he ended on, Lindsay.
Yeah. Great sweater.
Is it?
Sweater was the best.
I know, but if you don't know what's the name of the sweater that Mr. Rogers wore, what clue do you give? Veronica Mars wore it?
There's also the Pembroke Welsh Corgi is a dog, and then there's also the blank Welsh Corgi.
What does that have to do with that?
There's a cardigan Welsh Corgi or the Pembroke Welsh Corgi when it comes to dog breeds. And
So weird. You know that. Why do you know that?
because I had one.
You had a cardigan
I had the
corgi?
Pembroke Welsh Corgi. And then there's the cardigan Welsh Corgi.
Okay.
Yeah. Like he was on the right track, breaking
Totally.
it down too with the car, and then, you could say cardio. Try to break it down, cardio. But yeah, he was just not knowing it.
All right, the record now.
Ties me and Lindsay with 8, keeps you dead last with 4.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns.
9. Giggity.
The age staying up late stop being fun?
Okay. I mean, that doesn't make much sense, but okay.
I don't know.
The age gap.
Drinking too much? Or excessive
Aged
partying?
cheese. Aged wine. Thinking of other things that are aged.
The age when blank stopped being fun. According to a question online, at what age did life stop being fun? Thousands of people have responded so far, and a lot of the answers are upbeat, with many saying they haven't reached that age yet. Some folks also say life didn't get fun until they got older, and some say it's never been fun.
Wow.
Oh, those poor people.
Lindsay, what's the age when life stopped being fun?
It hasn't stopped. I think it gets better.
Gimpy?
No, it does. It changes. It shifts, but it never stops being fun. It only stops being fun if you let it stop being fun. Like those people that say it's never been fun. I was born and I've been miserable ever since. It's those people, right? So I'm with Lindsay. I don't think it ever stops.
For me, it's getting more fun as I get older. But there's a scene in the new season of Reservation Dogs, and in it, the aunt is talking to one of the kids who had run away to California and came back. And in the scene, she talks to the kid about like, hey, you're expecting this other shoe to drop that you get older and things just suddenly change. She's like, that never happens. You're still the same person you were at 4. I'm still the same person I was at 12. The difference between those times is I just have a ton more baggage.
Right.
And that baggage weighs you down. And I was like, damn, that's truth.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. See, now that's a headline. This happens in Maryland.
Hats off for the rhyme.
Yeah, right. See, that was
a good headline.
You told me you just pointed out a missed opportunity, and I was like, well, I got one too, so I just changed it real quick.
I love it. Well done.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. What happened was, this happens in Maryland, where police were sent to the home of a 71-year-old Margaret Craig for a welfare check. Margaret hadn't been heard or seen of from the last couple of days, all right? Well, for a couple of days, because they think that this all happened towards the end of May. So the police go over there and they do the welfare check, and that's when they can smell the decomposing body coming from a basement. Okay, so they go down there and they search, and that's where they found 3 different plastic bags with human remains in it, rotting away in the basement. So the story goes that Margaret accused her daughter, who is 44 years old, Candace Craig, of credit card fraud. So that led to an argument betwixt Margaret and Candace, which led to Margaret's death. Okay? So, flash forward a little bit. They say that the 19-year-old daughter of Candace, a woman named Celia Hardy, found the body of Margaret in a plastic bin and then decided to help dismember and dispose of the body. They believe that the 2 women used a chainsaw to cut Granny's body up and then threw the body parts on a grill and a bonfire in attempts to burn and destroy the body parts. Either way, they searched the house. They say that the remains were so badly decomposed that you can't do a physical identification of the body. So they're hoping, and they're 98% sure that DNA testing is going to come back and say, yeah, this is definitely Margaret. Nonetheless, both women were arrested. Candace is being popped for murder, and then Celia has been arrested and being charged with accessory after the fact.
It's one thing to kill somebody, I think. I think it's a completely other to dismember them.
Yeah.
And another for it to be Meemaw.
Right. The human body contains a lot of blood. Like, more than I want to see at one point in time. So I feel as soon as you start hacking away with a chainsaw, that's just going to be a bloody mess everywhere.
It's like putting together a swing set in your backyard. You're like, I can do this. And then you get in, you're like, I'm going to need some help.
Right. So you call your kids to come help you put the swing set together.
Yeah. If you've ever put together a swing set in the last 5 years, it shows up and you're like, okay, yeah, I could do this. And then on day 2, you're like, we'll put that on later.
Right. Kids don't need a swing, do they?
Yeah.
Nah.
I think the monkey bar sat in my garage for a good year.
They're not going to be able to reach up there and grab it anyway.
Right, exactly. Do you think Meemaw was a bad person, abusive, maybe?
Are you justifying
have
it?
to be?
Are you implying that if she was, then she probably should be dismembered?
No. But would she have to be for it to be like...
You brought it up.
Okay.
You brought it up. You tell me.
Well, I look at Dexter, like the show Dexter. It was like he was almost like the good bad guy because he was taking out bad people.
No, Dexter was a horrible person.
Oh, see, I looked at him as a good bad guy. He was taking out bad people.
Like a Robin Hood sort of thing. That
Yes.
instead of robbing the rich and giving to the poor, we're just killing bad people. Jack the Ripper is another one, killing the whores of the world.
Yes.
If you think that's bad.
Yeah.
Dexter was not a good person.
I thought so. I thought he was good.
But he was hurting people. He was killing people for minor things, not huge infractions.
Some of them
bumped into me at the grocery store.
Yeah. Some of them, sure, but not all of them.
No, he wasn't doing it for bumping into me
How
at the grocery store.
dare you take the last bagel at work?
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay, so those are the 3 basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid.
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mash them together, it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years.
Okay.
Right?
Alrighty then.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
Wheel of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Chiffres et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah,
Wow.
is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
he old?
He like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well, it was a different time then.
Right. It changes. Empathy towards humans.
All right.
60 years is a long time, though, for a game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going? Because really, that's all that people are going because of the name. People were watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up, you know. Everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on Price is Right, because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
That makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel, earn points.
It's
Now,
the
how
same
they
game.
derive the letters and things like that, or on Jeopardy, can obviously change. But overall, it's the same game.
Yeah. There's no need to change it.
Tic-tac-toe, celebrity whatever, doesn't last because you get annoyed. You get annoyed with just because you're famous doesn't mean you're awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And some of these other shows, that's why I like Pyramid, and it runs its exhaustion level. That's why they don't do just Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. You want to see people that are like, quote unquote, you win.
Right. It gives you hope
Absolutely.
and a chance that you could be on that show someday and you could win that money.
The number of people that are like, to know someone to be on Wheel of Fortune is rare. Think about all the times they come through and recruit people, and then how many people from here actually get on the show? Not very many, if you think about it. So where do those people come from? Well, they recruit people. Some are up and coming actors. Like they tried because they have to fill it. Lindsay's tried to be on game shows before. One of the hardest parts about being on a game show is that you have to fly out on your own, put yourself up, and you might get on the show.
Right. They don't pay for you to be out there until you finally make the final cut.
And when you're on the show, you might just get the minimum, which is like $1,000 now or something like that, which you're like, that's a lot. It is a lot. Not after hotel and airfare and expenses.
In California.
In anywhere.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's see what Gimpy has in his 4x4.
Well, Governor says here that Russia denies U.S. allegations it launched a weapon into orbit. Russia denies the U.S. saying that Moscow launched a weapon into orbit that could attack other satellites. The nation's deputy foreign minister called it fake news. U.S. Pentagon Press Secretary Pat Ryder said the Kremlin launched a satellite that was, quote, likely a counter space, not like space on your counter.
Right.
Anyway.
It's a lot more room for them to put stuff.
Right. It was a counter space weapon, a little gun that you put next to your microwave. Anyhow, that presumably capable of attacking other satellites in low Earth orbit. He noted the weapon was on the same orbit as an American government satellite. Meanwhile, Russia's Ministry of Defense acknowledged that a launch had happened, but left out any other details.
And what's fascinating is our government made a quote, and this is pretty great. Quote, I'm limited by how much I can share about the specific nature of the threat. I can confirm that it is related to an anti-satellite capability that Russia is developing. So we have a problem. I can't tell you about it. Just trust me.
Sure. What else we got here? House committee wants service members fired over vaccine rehired. The House Armed Services Committee yesterday adopted the amendment to the annual defense policy bill, but it might not survive a meeting later this year with Senate counterparts when they have to iron out differences in the bill before Congress can pass it. Congress had the Defense Department repeal the pandemic-era mandate in 2023.
I don't see them changing, like going back on this. Not whether they should or shouldn't. I don't know about that.
Right.
But I don't see them going back because then anything they do after the fact, now they can go, like they set a precedent.
Right. I get that. What else we got here? DOJ is to sue Live Nation. The Justice Department is planning to sue Live Nation over what it says are anti-competitive business practices. The entertainment company puts on concerts, sells tickets, and owns venues. The lawsuit is expected to accuse the company of edging out competitors and driving up prices. Ain't that the truth? Several state attorney generals are reportedly joining the suit as well.
I don't know what's going to come of this. They're going to get in and decide how much, like, what? You charge too much?
Right. Lower your prices. God damn it. I want to go see a show and not pay $700 for it.
This isn't the guy in your town that puts on shows. This is a major corporation.
Right.
That has the ability and the deep pockets to lawyer up.
Right. We'll see what happens. But this is the Department of Justice. Anyway, lastly here, Tulsa Public Schools launches citywide summer cafe program to provide free meals for kids. TPS launched its annual summer cafe program yesterday to provide free breakfast and lunch for all children under the age of 18. Meal service is available at various TPS summer cafe program locations Monday through Friday. The program will be available until August 19th. TPS has more than 40 summer cafe sites through Tulsa.
Got some insight here on the LaMelo Ball lawsuit.
I've been on the edge of my seat.
He's being sued, and the Charlotte Hornets, by a mom who allegedly said that the star guard hit her son with his car. In the suit, the mother claims that her son was trying to get an autograph from him after the team's purple and teal day at the Hive fan event back in October. She says her 11-year-old son, Angel Joseph, was outside the arena's employee entrance when Ball's SUV exited the arena. Fans approached the vehicle when he stopped at a stoplight, and Angel's mom says that that Ball made eye contact with her son.
Get out of here.
Right. The light then turned green, and she says that Ball drove off in a grossly negligent and reckless manner and struck her son. Her lawyer says that her son was severely injured in the incident with foot and back injuries, severe physical pain, and emotional distress from a player her son considered his hero.
Sure.
An incident report from the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department said Joseph suffered bruises and scratches that were described as minor. There's been no comment from the Hornets, Ball, or the player's agent. Her lawyer is seeking damages in excess of $25,000.
How old's the kid?
11.
So she just let this 11-year-old kid run up to a car at a stop sign.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's responsible. You hit a pedestrian either way.
Mm-hmm.
But he's waited his whole life to just get one autograph.
Right.
From the Ball brothers.
I think it sounds like a big money grab.
Of course.
For sure.
Listen, some celebrity hits me with their car. I'm suing their face off.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
I was aspiring to be this jiu-jitsu national champion. Now the dream's crushed.
Right.
I have to sit the whole time doing my full-time job. Oh, wait.
That's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of They put it out with their little water can. They say that the damages cost a couple of $100,000 to this couch, and the wall that was behind it totally scorched, burnt up. Pictures are on our Facebook page. They ended up arresting the girl. They didn't say what the girl and the mom were fighting over, and they didn't say what led to, her wanting to set the couch on fire. My guess is probably just angry teen and probably had some alcohol involved in there somewhere. That's just my theories on it. Nonetheless, they went ahead and arrested her for arson, and the investigation continues.
So many things on this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let you get your luggage. Like, you went out of the hotel, and then they're like, you can't go back in.
Right.
So you got to go find a place without your stuff.
Right.
Wallet probably.
Right.
Credit cards probably.
Maybe your phone.
And so all you're in is your skirt, your tidy whities or whatever.
So you're talking about the 320 guests that were evacuated. They did let them all go back in. All the guests were allowed to go back into their room and go back to sleep after it was all said and done.
I'm shocked by that because the sprinkler system has gone off, and it flooded the floor.
The lobby area, though. Just the first floor and that lobby area. Anybody
still feels like danger, Will
2
Robinson.
through 9. Oh, I totally get you. Smoke damage, smoke inhalation, whatever. I was surprised that they let them all go back in as well, but that's what they said.
Dude, I was unaware that sprinkler systems in a building go off by floor.
Yeah, I thought it was all automatic
at one time.
everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe this is a different one, but the story did say that they let all 320 guests or everybody that was evacuated go back to their room later on that morning, probably about 5:30 or so. Still, 3:30 in the morning, you woke up, you're probably on vacation.
Sure.
You gotta evacuate. Everybody go meet in the parking lot over there by the 4th
Bob Evans.
street light.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then you're waiting there for hours. After they get everything cleaned up,
Smoke fills the whole place.
Oh yeah. And they're like, you can go back. I'd probably be like, okay, I'm gonna go get my stuff, and I'm gonna check out and go find another place. And then we'll deal with reimbursement after this.
All right. Then the other thing I was thinking about, your kid does this. What do you do?
What's the punishment?
Right. We'll deal with this when we get home.
How old was the girl?
16.
Yeah, like, what do you do?
You're grounded. Grounded.
No
for
screens.
Arson.
Yeah.
Right. She's 16 and went to jail for arson. So chances are this parent or the parents are going to be like, well, she went to jail and she's being charged. And they're probably going to take out the couple $100,000 worth of damage out of her
allowance. That's a whole...
Oh,
yeah, right?
Right.
It feels too late. Like, you already... She's
so
already...
give up. Okay. Give up on your kid. Okay.
No. I'm not saying that.
You're a lost cause. I tried.
Yeah,
for
that's what you
6
said.
years.
It's too late.
Why don't you go live on the streets with the rest of the crackheads?
No, but I mean, like, it's too late to be like, you're grounded for... You know what I mean? Like...
Well, typically punishments come after the infraction.
Sure, but she's in jail.
It'd be weird to ground your kid like you're a precog or something for something that hasn't happened yet.
She's in jail.
I don't know what you did yet, but you're grounded. I know you're going to do something. You're grounded.
I hope jail kind of wakes her up a bit.
Well, she's not going to jail.
She did. They arrested her.
But she went to juvie.
Right.
Okay.
And she probably may not spend a whole lot of time
which
in
is
there.
which is an education system.
Right.
I mean, there's probably going to be big time fine. She's going to have to go to court.
Her parents will pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will not be paying. That's what I'm saying. Like, she is going to be released probably to their
Yeah. She'll be paying
supervision.
It back. If she's my kid.
No, she won't be paying back.
If she's my kid, she is.
No.
She's going to be working it off. Hard labor.
For 40 years?
Busting rocks in the backyard.
This isn't you bought her an iPhone.
Right.
This is, as Gimpy said, if not 2 commas, it is definitely 100,000. She would be paying back forever.
You owe me every paycheck for the rest of your life.
Well, that makes no sense either.
When you retire, I want your retirement. I want your 401k.
See what I'm saying? Like, it just creates all these questions.
2 Subway employees shot over too much mayo.
Okay, I was like, sandwich or
Yes.
tunnel?
In Atlanta, police responded to a shooting at a Subway location inside of a Circle K. Reportedly, a customer became irate when too much mayonnaise was squirted onto his sandwich. That's when he allegedly opened fire, hitting 2 female employees, one of which was fatally wounded, and the other is in serious condition. The store's owner says a third employee fired back at the unnamed gunman.
What?
Yeah, but he
A
missed.
third employee. That means the employee had a gun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, by God, we got to save them sandwiches somehow, Corbin.
Yeah. The suspect is in custody. Police said that the woman was killed was 26 years old. A 24-year-old employee was shot in front of her 5-year-old son. She's the one that's in critical condition. The woman was hit twice after she pushed her son out of the way under the counter to keep him from being hurt. The co-owner of the Subway said that a third worker had definitely shot at the gunman. He missed, but at least he put up a little fight, he said. Atlanta police officer said that this was a case of someone with a gun who didn't know how to resolve conflict without resorting to violence. They did not release the identity of the worker who was killed because they were still waiting for family members to be informed, but said both of the employees were young women who had just started at the location about 3 weeks ago. And the customer had been in the Subway location before without ever having an incident. The interim chief of police said so far arguments are the majority cause of homicides this year in Atlanta.
There's a lot going on in this story.
Boy, I tell you.
Your 5-year-old kid was there?
Yeah.
That's what I thought was bizarre. Okay, I get it. You got to go to work. You can't find a babysitter, but
Or can't afford one.
Or I
Can't
was
afford
thinking
one.
too, or maybe she was going to get off in like 20 minutes and, maybe the dad dropped the child off. And
No, that's also not okay.
yeah, I know.
It's a weird thing for the 5-year-old to be there. Two, another employee had a gun on him.
Yeah.
The other thing too with Subways, they're everywhere.
right.
There was a time that I believe there were more Subways than McDonald's and Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and all that. They were the most widely dispersed chain.
Yeah, especially for sub sandwiches. Faux show. They had the corner market there. But then some other places started
I think
coming
they're
out.
still pretty high up on the list.
You think so?
Absolutely. You go anywhere, there's a Subway.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They've got 'em
Anywhere.
inside,
They're so
gas stations
easy.
and stuff.
It's not like a Chick-fil-A, right? Like you go, there are towns that just don't have Chick-fil-A's. I would bet almost every town has a Subway
Oh, yeah.
sandwich shop.
And if you're putting too much mayonnaise on mine, I'm giving you a tip. If I don't have to ask for it.
Here's the deal. You can tell them to stop anytime because
Yeah.
you're sitting there watching them make your sandwich. You see how much of everything that they put on. You could have been like, whoa, dial it back on the mayonnaise,
Yeah.
man.
Or you can say light mayo or
Right, but what's light mayo?
light on the mayo.
Yeah, but how much is
so
light? Your light
a
and
little
my light are
squirt.
not the same.
Yeah.
And I'm the artist here.
All right. These are the most
True.
popular sandwich chains in America. Okay? This is what it says. Blimpie? Have you ever had a Blimpie?
Yeah.
I have, but it's not most popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most locations,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I can name my favorite sandwich shop, but it's not everywhere.
Right.
And I would wager the majority of people in this town have never eaten at it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can't go with most popular. You have to have which sandwich shop has the most locations.
Largest sandwich chain in the U.S. Oh, here we go. Fun. This is as of 2020, so it's a couple of years old.
Uh-huh.
But it says largest sandwich chain, so does that quantify
I think so, yeah.
as it could be?
Sure.
Okay. Continue to the site. Subway comes in at number 6.
Oh.
It has their rankings on
What's
here.
number one?
I got to scroll down. It doesn't have the number 1 listed on the quick list.
Well, what's number 5?
Listen, here's how it goes. 6, 18, 34, 46, 58, 63, 69, 89, 99, 100. There's nothing really. It says
Okay.
rank in there.
Okay. So, all right. So the list you're looking at, those are sandwich ones on the list. So the number one sandwich shop is Subway, but it comes on number 6 of all, like, probably fast food.
Probably so. U.S. sales and U.S. units. Subway did 10,000. This is the 2019 numbers. Did $10,000 in 2019 with 23,801 units. So is that sandwiches sold?
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. If you've missed out on every opportunity in the world to ever see corn, then don't miss out this time. They will be at the BOK Center on October 23rd. It's a Wednesday. We've got your tickets for you to win at the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Sign up and good luck.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Oh, good morning. Rocklahoma is going to be here before you know it. Labor Day weekend, Prior USA, Disturbed, Avenged Sevenfold, and a whole lot more. Get your link for tickets and the full lineup at the website that rocks, KMOD.com.
So, Conspiracy Theory Thursday is going to crush some people.
Oh.
There's a really great movie with Bradley Cooper called American Sniper.
Yes.
It's a great movie. Have you seen it, Lindsay?
Oh, yeah.
Gimpy, have you seen it?
Bits and pieces.
It's a really great movie. Bradley Cooper's fantastic in it. And I was heartbroken to find out that it's not true.
Huh? Sure it is.
I thought they portrayed it as real events.
Apparently, according to the book, it is based off of. So it's an important factor.
Yeah.
It's only 56% true.
Okay.
That's good enough for you.
I mean, does it say based on actual events, based on a true story, or this film is... I mean, I feel like there's different wording in the beginning of every movie, whether or not this is a true story or everything. You know what I mean? They word it differently. So
Okay.
you know.
I am not
based
clear.
on actual events or...
I am not clear if the beginning of the movie has a slate
Yeah.
that says this movie is based off partially truths. We're about 56% accurate in this
Right.
movie. I was led to believe all of it was true.
That's what I thought.
I was led to believe every single bit of it is true. And I know you may be going, well, what are the things that aren't true, Corbin?
Yeah.
I've got them.
Fun.
Awesome.
Like I said, it's only 56.9% true and includes artistic liberties with his life and his military service.
Okay.
It's even as simple as his rodeo career, where it ended when a Bronco flip and leaves him with injuries.
Okay.
Not true.
Huh.
That Chris Kyle enlisted because of an attack on an American embassy. Not true. That when he would killing Iraqis was unpleasant for him. No, he was commented many times saying F the Iraqis.
Right.
That he discovered a trove of weapons underneath a floorboard in an Iraqi home.
Ooh.
Not true. It's a pivotal point in the movie where he's sitting there and he has to go to the bath. They're eating dinner in this guy's house and he has to go to the bathroom. And when he does, he starts snooping around and finds a trove of weaponry, like an arsenal.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's a very dramatic moment, all that. Not true.
So, okay. Didn't find any at all, or he found one or two and then they just embellished it in the movie to
Nope,
make it look like
not,
he found this.
Not true.
Just none at all, huh? Well, phooey.
In the movie, they said there was an evil adversary named the Butcher.
Yeah.
Not true.
There could have been a butcher around.
That he defeated an Olympic sniper named Mustafa.
Say it again.
Not true. Pretty much all of the heroics in the movie are fictionalized.
Ain't that some bull?
He even said this wasn't in the movie, of course, that he fought Jesse Ventura in a bar. Not true. Ventura went on to sue him and the estate after Kyle died, and he won $1.8 million from the estate, to the point where a lot of people drug Ventura through the mud for suing some guy after he died to get money, when in reality, Kyle was the liar.
Well, was it Kyle or was it the creators of the movie?
No, in the book, he defamed Jesse Ventura.
Right.
It wasn't, the Jesse Ventura stuff is in the movie. Here's another thing, not in the movie. That Kyle claimed he was sent to New Orleans during Katrina by the U.S. government and positioned himself on top of the Superdome and killed at least 30-plus looters.
Okay.
Did not happen. The government would not do that.
No.
Kyle, we need your help. in New Orleans. Get your stuff. Position yourself. And where would you at what spot on the Superdome would you position yourself?
Right. Well, you would think at, the top.
And that means at least 30 gunshots. How many shots would it take before, in this crazy event that happens in New Orleans, right? We can all agree that was an insane event.
Yeah.
How many shots would be fired before police or military or whoever would have to go and investigate and be like, who's shooting from the top of the Superdome?
Right.
All a lie. Never happened. He even stated that he killed 2 carjackers in Texas and that he was praised by law enforcement for getting dirtbags off the street.
Not so much, huh?
Not true. Not one bit of that is true. And that apparently, when one of his superiors was asked about his embellishments, he said that I wouldn't, specifically the killing the carjackers, he said, look, I wouldn't put it past Chris Kyle. I would put him past him. But also he loved to tell a good story.
Right. But if you're going to portray all parts of your life as to be true, you shouldn't be making stuff up.
And that one person even stated that Chris Kyle was one of this certain percentage of people that joined the military for a specific reason. Some people join for the idea of your country, right? Some people do it because it's a family line of you've been doing that, the honor that goes with that. And some people do it for legalized killing.
Right.
Not all, small percentage. And that maybe he fell into that group.
Interesting.
Right. I had no idea about this. And when you take a movie that people put up, and there's a long list of movies that we consider very patriotic,
right,
that have a ton of fictional liberties.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if they told the truth, it would probably be dull and boring or too graphic for people. So we got to change it up a little bit to make it more palatable for society.
There's another one, a movie I love. I mean, I love American Sniper. There's another movie I love that's military, and it apparently is incredibly fictionalized. Lone Survivor.
Okay.
Movie about Marcus Luttrell. Special Forces group. They get put in Afghanistan. They come across a sheep herder. The sheep herder, they decide whether they should kill the sheep herder or not. Or let him go. They let him go. He goes back to the Taliban. The Taliban advances on their position. They get in a strict gunfight. Long story short, Mark Wahlberg's character, portrayed by Marcus Luttrell, is the only one that survives.
Right.
And they never came across a goat sheep herder. The Taliban, they believe, were already on their position because of they left a rope behind when they dropped in and they found it.
Right.
And that when the story is that there was this insane gunfight for like a long time when not one bullet was displaced from Marcus Luttrell's clips. Listen, great movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not, Marcus Luttrell's an unbelievable human being of the things he sacrificed his life for. That's not what I'm bringing into question. The conspiracy here is movies and what we believe in. Another one, another great, and these are ones I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Captain Phillips.
Right.
Fantastic movie. Right? Well, they get some things wrong on it. One, he was not practicing any of the safety protocols he was supposed to be practicing.
All right.
One of them in particular was to stay 600 miles away from the coast, which he thought was a waste of time and fuel. And for those who don't know about that industry, which is the Wild West, he was 300 miles within the coast.
Right.
Another one where he says that, take me captive.
Right.
Never said that. He told them to engage all the security features and lock the doors. Did not happen. Another one where it is depicted to be days. No, it went on for like 5 or 6 days.
Right.
The only truth about Mazarek is that Phillips was on it. There were some people that tried to take it as pirates, and the SEALs intervened.
Right. Sniped him from like a raft or some jive.
No, from the deck of a aircraft carrier, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. No, it was then on a boat of some sorts. Yeah. Impressive, though.
And that they didn't have food and stuff inside the getaway vehicle, the safety boat. And that, no, there was food in there for 5 to 7 days. Just a lot of liberties with these movies that we take and prop up.
Right.
As like super patriotic. And they are not. At all.
Well, that's disappointing.
And to me, it's not like the Titanic. You see the Titanic. If you believe anything you see on the Titanic, you are,
right.
You're not living in a reality. It is the movies that I have mentioned are no more real than Field of Dreams.
Okay.
Right? Because the people, some of the players were real players.
Yeah.
They played baseball.
But they didn't play as ghosts in the middle of a corner.
That's it.
What was the other the SEALs movie that was actual SEALs portraying SEALs in the film that weren't actors?
Oh, are you talking about that one where they were in France and the train got hijacked or whatever? That one?
I don't think so.
That's the only movie that I can think of where, like, you know, some major stuff went down and they wanted to make a movie out of it, but the guys were like, no, I want to act. I want to do my own part. I was there.
Oh, no. So the 2117 or something like that is the name of it. And it's, was it an Army guy and a Navy or an Air Force guy were on a train with their buddy, and a guy with a bomb is on it, and they tackle him. And then Clint Eastwood goes to do the movie, and he's like, no, I want the real people doing it. And it's a crazy movie. Horrible acting.
Yeah.
Just really bad. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I think that one's more recent. The one that I'm thinking of is actual Navy SEALs.
I know.
And it is, I believe it's older. It was like maybe 2015, 16, something like that. And they're in another country and they're doing Navy SEAL stuff. But it was Act of Valor, I think, maybe?
Act of Valor, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other one Corbin was talking about was 1517 to Paris.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I haven't seen either one of them. I've just heard 1517 to Paris is a turd. So therefore, I'm not going to waste my time.
I mean, I think you should watch it. You should watch it, but if you're going in to think you're going to see some great cinematic piece of of entertainment, you're not. The story is incredibly fascinating.
Sounds like it,
right?
yes.
If anything, it's a good example of watching a movie with a good story, but everything else is garbage. You know what I'm saying? Somebody sent a text in, and I want to read this. And not saying it's not true what you're saying, Corbin, but please give your source for this. Once again, I believe it's BS, but always want to know the source. There's this really cool place you can go, 4680. It's called the internet, and you can search and validate what I'm saying. I found it online and then did my own investigation to see if it was true because I didn't want to just blurt it out if it wasn't true.
Right.
You can be as derogatory, as like bad as you want and write Chris Kyle liar.
Right.
And search that way. You can go American Sniper true. There's many ways to Google things. It's funny you're all talking about American Sniper. Went to the Chris Kyle Memorial in Odessa while I was in Midland, Texas a couple weeks ago. Oh. When I was in Team 3, all the guys that were there with Chris absolutely hated the story and how it portrayed the rest of his team. Another one, even if it says based on a true story, doesn't mean it's 100% acting or accurate. It's freaking Hollywood.
True statement.
No. That is a lot of counterpoints I came across was like, if you believed any of this was real, that's on you.
Yeah, but you shouldn't portray it to be real if it's not.
Yeah, it's not like I'm watching The Lion King and going, well, this has got to be real. It's clearly not real. Or what's that new movie with Ryan Reynolds, If, right? That's clearly not real.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, one of the only truest, the fact from that movie, American Sniper, was that he was the deadliest sniper from 2009 to what? Or from 1999 to 2009? That's it? That's the only fact that we know?
No, there's no way to validate it.
Okay. They can't validate that he had the most career kills?
How do you validate it?
I don't know. I don't have a military background, so I wouldn't know.
It would be based off, they go, target in sight.
Right.
He gets orders, take target at will or whatever. And then he reports back he took the target down. They say that, and to me, this is also a huge point that has to be addressed, I think, in the American Sniper movie.
Yeah.
In what he dealt with when he came back and what he went through is a form of PTSD where he felt like he had to hold on to that attention.
That's fair.
Right.
And that coming back from war or any traumatic situation that involves taking a human life or seeing a human life be taken deals with massive mental problems that don't get addressed, that the government does not deal with the people, the men and women that serve our country. To me, that is the big message.
The guy that killed him, Eddie Ruth, I think was his name. I know he's serving a life sentence in prison. Did he ever say why he killed him?
I think he was having PTSD.
Yeah. But he was supposed to be, Chris Kyle was trying to help him.
Chris Kyle and another man had a program to help veterans when they came back. And this was a guy that they were helping and killed him.
Sad deal.
100%. But again, this isn't a Chris Kyle thing.
Yeah.
This is just, the movie was depicted to be something it was not.
Right.
Multiple times over. There are multiple examples of this. So, is it like a magician where you go see a magician and you know damn good and well magicians don't have magic? But you go like, he made that thing disappear. It's like he had a bunch of handkerchiefs in his pocket and they just keep coming.
You saw the hat was empty.
It's an art.
And then he pulled a rabbit out of it.
Right. There's roses out of his wand. So is that just what we're doing with movies? And then if you discount it, are you not patriotic?
Oh, yeah, you're an asshole. And you don't believe in your country. For sure, 100%. You commie bastard.
It's like, if you get a tattoo of a flag on you, are you more patriotic than others?
Well, yeah, because it's inked into your blood.
So wait, you mean G.I. Jane isn't true? I don't think anybody thought G.I. Jane was real.
No.
That's like saying, what is the movie with... Oh, hold on. Goldie Hawn.
Okay.
And she's in Yeah, Private Benjamin.
I don't think I've ever heard of this movie.
Oh my gosh, dude. She plays Goldie Hawn, and she enlists in the military.
Okay.
Fragile, mousy type of person. She has to go through boot camp. She cries. Yeah, it's. But in literally, they're the same thing. But one there's a real person involved.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you go, this is based off of the book. Yeah, crazy. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show is coming right back.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah, I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always, always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still, you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No?
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so, hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and, like, looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What, do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Look down my
No.
nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
If you're
and
a
it looks
hoarder?
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house,
Oh,
right?
no. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off
away.
guard.
No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering.
Or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever, paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them, and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, like, I'm going to judge the food. So I'm not going to judge, like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh, my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. 'Cause you're right. Life happens.
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dress for less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza. Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. Now, it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 No. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first,
You're so
right?
bougie.
Yeah.
You're going over get high, and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah, if you gotta, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because, it's littered with empty cans.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag.
But
clear off the table and
Yes.
it'll be fine.
Yes.
I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
Right.
All right? Just don't make people come in and be like, oh, God. Oh. God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with a brick wall of stank. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too. Don't go crazy, right? If you're unloading half a can of Lysol,
right. You're
you're
obviously
covering up a
something up.
smell.
Yeah.
Right?
Which will reveal itself in a
In
little
due
bit.
time.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
It smells like wildflowers and ass.
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
Mm-hmm.
And mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which means you have a problem if there's stink in the
Yeah.
house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Yeah.
It's mold
Gross.
Yeah.
in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a little
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing is racing.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little bit.
But you didn't.
You didn't, exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. What's the strangest type of bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork? You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look it
I
up.
mean,
Look up shoebill stork. Shoebill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre looking bird. It almost looks human-like.
Got a giant honking schnoz.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. If I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound. A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful chirping or anything. It's a very loud noise. Mm-hmm. It's the shoebill stork. You see it?
yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick going to be?
Probably.
Morning show, 918-460-KMOD. Conspiracy Theory Thursday. This one is for Lindsay. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Love
Okay.
this. You're now going to go down a rabbit hole. That's how much I think you're going to love this.
All right.
Gimpy might.
Okay.
There's a trial currently going on between this woman who's apparently killed her boyfriend.
Okay.
And the part that is in question is she is saying, of course, she didn't do it, but there is some questionable tactics that are being had.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the murder trial where Karen Reed is being charged with murder of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, who was a police officer.
Okay.
And the timeline that on January 28th of 2022, a group of people, including her and him and another Boston police officer, his sister-in-law, and others went out drinking on a Friday night. And the area's starting to get their first major winter snowstorm. And at about 11 o'clock, the group heads across the street to another bar, staying for about an hour. And then at midnight, members of the group leave the bar to go to one of their homes. And the couple, Reed and O'Keefe, leave in her vehicle. And about 15 minutes after that, multiple witnesses call a dark SUV pulling up to the home and saying that looking for the guy, the boyfriend, can't be found. Nobody knows where he's at.
So they left together in her vehicle.
Yes.
And the next day, he's not found.
Yes.
Okay.
Part of the group leaves the home at about 1:30, and they say the SUV is not there anymore. And no one sees the officer dead in the front yard.
Uh-huh.
The defense alleges that records show people at the home, their phones searched, how long to die in the cold.
Okay.
So this would have been more than 3 hours before he was found in the snow. Prosecutors have disputed the timeline. About 4:53 in the morning, the girlfriend and the now dead officer's 14-year-old niece each contacted the people that live in the home, saying that he did not return home and they were unable to reach him by phone. And other people start going out looking for him. At 6 a.m., they do find him unresponsive in the snow outside. According to reports, a broken drinking glass consistent with the one he was seen holding and drops of blood, according to police, are seen on his body. 2 hours later, he's pronounced dead at the hospital. And they say that during the recovery process and scene collection, they're seen moving snow out of the way, collecting evidence in red Solo cups.
Oh, okay.
And it is the belief of the woman, the girlfriend, who's on trial for murder, that he was beaten up and assaulted and then left in the snow to die by the people inside the house. And that from the beginning, the lead investigator was protecting the police officers, and the lead investigator was so close to the people inside that one of their daughters babysit his children on many occasions.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is believed that there's a cover-up happening.
Okay.
It is also believed that she, the girlfriend, was jealous because of a rumored relationship between the now dead officer and one of the women inside the home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unclear the connection, but that one of the other people found out, and that's what triggered the assault that led to a death. There was even dog bites found on the dead officer's body that are consistent with the German Shepherd. And the family owned a German Shepherd.
Oh, no.
That they got rid of, surprisingly, 2 weeks after this event happened.
Oh.
They say that her car, the SUV, had a broken taillight from where she backed over and hit him.
Right.
And that they would easily be able to clear her name by showing footage of her car driving down the road with the taillight intact, as she says it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that video is missing from the time window that she would have driven by from a local convenience store.
Okay.
They say the video runs and runs and runs, and then nothing, and then continues again.
And she wouldn't have access to get a hold of that video.
You'd
She's
think
not
not.
a cop.
You would think not. But I don't know if cops can go in and just delete that part.
Right. Like there has to be like software involved.
There would be a macro imprint to show that an edit was made, if that were the case. And the other part, too, this is really fascinating, is there was a young person who was underage at the time admitted to be drinking down the street, who they believe also got in an altercation with the officer outside the home. And that's where, like, he was involved in it, but they say that that's just, again, another way to clutter up. So it's not clear to me,
right?
And this case is going on right now, that she is the responsible party. It's not clear that she's not.
Right.
Because if she was drunk, they say footage from inside the bar show her consuming a lot of alcohol, and that she, it is entirely possible that she was not capable of driving and could have hit him unknowingly.
Absolutely.
To me, it's weird that if, like, we all went out and then Gimpy was going to meet up with the girl he was with, and then he doesn't show up. I'm like, dude, where are you? And you don't reply. I'm not just going to be like, yeah, oh, well.
He got a better offer. Yeah.
That's not my MO. That's not the way when a group of us are hanging out.
Yeah, as friends, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to, and you're supposed to show up. I'm going to make sure you're safe, especially if we've been drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you left with someone who's been drinking?
Yeah. But, I mean, it has been known to be like, oh, I bet you just went home and passed out or whatever. You know, decided to Irish goodbye us and, you know, went home and passed out. I've done that before.
Great text. I've been watching this entire trial. The prosecution has called over 40 witnesses. And so far, the prosecution has not provided any evidence to get past a reasonable doubt.
Okay.
Which will then lead to a mistrial?
Yeah.
And then she gets away with murder.
40 witnesses are enough, should be enough to pin it on her.
Right.
You would think.
To me, it sounds like a cover-up.
I was thinking about that because people love to go to this. People love to go to a cover-up. And certain police divisions have history, right? Chicago PD, as an example, has a history of corruption.
Right.
Right? That doesn't mean there's corruption now, but there has been cases in the past. And there's the stuff in Mississippi where those people were getting killed and they were just burying them in a lot.
Right.
And being like, we don't know what happened to them despite a driver's license being in their front pocket. So it does happen, but I wouldn't call that a cover-up. They just didn't say anything.
Right. Lying by omission.
And this is, if they killed one of their own and covered it up because she was just the girlfriend, what if this was all conspired, getting her drunk, like discrediting her position?
Right. To get her in trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing that would be the out.
Yeah.
Maybe so. That's a possibility.
It is a possibility, but there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
A lot of organization and holding the line that has to happen.
Right.
People fold pretty fast for different reasons.
Yeah. But if they're officers that are involved in it, you know, like maybe they're the ones that wanted him out.
Yeah, but they're also spouses and partners.
True.
And just because you are a police officer and just because you are engaging in something like this doesn't mean you're capable of holding the line.
Right.
People are people. You have debts. You have situations. Hey, if you don't come forward, I'm going to call your loan due.
Right.
Or I'm going to have someone break your knees. Like,
right.
It can go both ways.
Right, right.
It is a fascinating trial. And again, the conspiracy would be the cover-up part. Does it happen?
Right.
We got to take a break. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show. This is Tulsa's Morning Show.
Here anymore. Whether it's, you know, raping babies or
like
just,
dogs.
Yeah, that too.
The idea that that's what you do to dogs so they don't want to hump.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is more of a Jeffrey Dahmer situation where the guy, they met on a dating app. The guy came over to the guy's house and they, you know, he ended up tying this guy up.
Yeah, I'm not buying that because then there would be more. You know, this isn't, you know what I'm saying? You don't go, I understand there's a first time for everything,
right.
But you're not going to be like, well, I think next time I'm willing to take a step further, get the skillet out.
Right.
Right?
I wonder
That's
if
also
these taste like.
it's also an important feature. Did he cook them or did he eat them raw?
Right.
Because eating a heart of a deer is not an uncommon thing. Sometimes straight out of it, sometimes cooked.
Right. Even your Rocky Mountain oysters, bull balls, bull butter. People eat those, but they don't eat them raw.
They don't eat them raw, right?
As far as I know, they don't. If you do, that makes you a little weird, and I don't think we should be friends anymore.
The idea that these two crazy people found each other, if that's the case, God, the universe is insane.
Imagine the life they could have had if he would not have died.
I think they had the life they imagined.
He just ended up dead and ballless.
I think again, we don't know the motive of the other person from the story.
Yeah.
But that sounds like that was the motive of this guy. He literally was like, whatever you want to do, Judge.
Right.
Apparently, and I dug into this guy a little bit. He had a master's degree. Like he was pretty, he was
the Unabomber had a master's. He was come on.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Did you get that online nowadays?
Sentencing for him will be held on December 15th.
I saw a thing yesterday online. I don't know if it's true, but you know how they caught the Unabomber? They caught the Unabomber. He was such an elitist. Like, he thought he was so much better than everybody else. He couldn't stand the phrase, have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And because he's like, that makes no sense. He was like, you can't have your cake and then enjoy it, like some other phrase.
Yeah.
And so he wrote this manifesto that got printed in the paper. And his sister-in-law, who always thought he was a little off his rocker, was like, I think this is your brother. Went to her husband, and he looked at him and was like, I don't think so, and then read the line that his brother was one of the only people who ever said, you can't have your cake and then enjoy it as well.
Right.
Oh.
And that's how they got him.
Wow.
Ooh, damn it. Ted Kaczynski. Man busted for beating.
Also, he was one of the people that did the acid experiment where they gave everybody a bunch of acid to see how they would react.
Okay.
And he went crazy, and he never forgave them.
Well, that would make sense, but no reason to go and send bombs through the mailbox.
Yeah,
Just saying.
universities and bombs and airplanes.
Right.
The Unabomber. A doll feels a little too childlike.
Right.
Any kind.
Yeah.
Right.
Any kind.
The obvious, the sex dolls would
The
be.
word doll
Right.
is what negates it for me.
Well,
Right.
So toys, they have sex toys. Toys are for children.
No, they also have toys for adults.
Like?
Drills.
Right.
Okay.
Big boy toys.
Big boy toys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And for the big
Beach
girls,
toys.
Yeah. Okay.
Lake toys.
Okay.
Toys is synonymous across the board. Dolls, 94% associated with children, specifically
Yes.
girls.
Okay.
So it's a little bizarre.
A little weird. To each is their own.
To-
I'm not going to spend $2,700 on one of those real live looking sex dolls. That's just for
I'll
me.
take the bait. How much would you spend?
Yeah.
What is your top out
My top out
on sex dolls?
If I was to purchase a sex doll, now obviously, you could go and get one of those $50 jobbies that they always look surprised or whatever. But I would like to have, if I was going to get one, it would be one of those real dolls, right? But I'm not. Maybe $1,000, maybe $1,000, and that's a lot. That's a lot,
right,
man.
Let me. I can speak gimpy. He is not saying he would spend $1,000 on it.
Right.
Okay.
He's saying gun to the head.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
I think if he were going to buy one, that would not be the price point he'd shop at. He's saying if he had like the most,
Right.
it would have to be a utopian world. Probably would have had won $1 billion lottery. Like,
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, if I'm winning a lottery, then I want to get the high end one, man. Spend, $3,500, get everything that feels real, maybe one that's like got AI and can
If you
talk
won
back
the-
to you a little bit.
If you won the lottery, you wouldn't need to buy a sex doll. You'd have women lined up if you won the lottery.
not if you you don't trust people and you don't want them around. You think all they want is money.
Boom. That real life sex doll ain't taking me to the cleaners. I'll be taking her to the cleaners, but she ain't taking me. Nay.
Do you take a job as a rich person sex toy cleaner?
No.
How much are we getting paid? That's the real
Minimum wage.
question.
Minimum wage.
I'm not getting paid $7.50 to go.
Everybody needs a job.
To go scrub out some rich person's sex doll.
Okay, but you get to. Sorry. However, you then get to be in their house when they're not there, like as a house caretaker.
I get to use all their luxuries, so
Yeah.
that means I get to drive the cars.
Probably not the cars, but you get to use their house.
Nah, I'm out then. If all I get is one room.
No,
and I
like
get
they're
to
not
use the-
there, so you can have the kitchen, you get to do the pool, like whatever. When they're not
Absolutely.
there, you're the caretaker.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to sleep in their luxurious bed with their 1,000 thread count Egyptian cotton
Sure.
sheets. You
They're
see what
not.
I'm saying?
Yeah, but they're not putting a futon
Right.
in your room.
Even then, if I don't have access to all the amenities that you have, we're talking, cars, boats, jet skis, private, planes, whatever, then I don't want any part. I would, if I had access to all that, sure, I'd do it for minimum wage. Why not?
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. So I saw a story about for the NFL season where they are going to possibly eliminate the chain gang.
Why would they do this?
Glad you asked. They're going to go to an optical tracking system
Oh.
to help with the rulings. And apparently they're going to test this in the preseason. And if the trial goes well and everyone's on board, they say it will be implemented full time during the 2024 regular season. This all came down in March, where apparently they quietly approved doing this across all teams in the preseason. They say that the chains will still exist on the sideline, but they'll be used as a backup for game operations and as a reference point for coaches, players, and fans in the stadium. All footballs are microchipped and have been for years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that seems a little weird.
And that the technology doesn't employ the chip and instead relies entirely on the optical tracking. The system, which was used at MetLife Stadium and Hard Rock Stadium last year, would need to be installed across all 30 stadiums as well as an international stadium where NFL games would be played. If the system works, it would make a more accurate measuring system that would reduce human error, which we've seen multiple times over. Joining us on the line right now is Mike Malaga from the Tulsa Drillers, who knows a little bit about the robots helping out with judgments. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Corbin. How are you, bud?
Good, man. We were just talking about the NFL and how the elimination of the potential chain gang. And if I don't know, is it accurate to say Major League Baseball has been kind of the forefront of technology advances when it comes to some of the rules in terms of like being safe and strikes and outs and all that stuff?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I'd say the forefront, but they certainly are adopting technology and have been for a long time. And I think it makes the game better. So, and I've always maintained, like a lot of people argue in baseball, the inaccuracies of the umpires, they argue about that. But I've always maintained that the most inaccurate thing in professional sports is the line of scrimmage in football. I mean, it just really depends. It comes down to inches half the time. And it just depends on where that referee puts the ball down. So I love the idea, honestly.
Yeah, I'm up for anything that makes the game more exciting. I don't want to eliminate human error because I think human error is a part of the game as well. It's one of the characters. But you're right. The spotting of the ball, sometimes you're like, that's not even close to where it was.
Exactly. And then then your team punts on 4th down in like 1 inch and you're like totally pissed off about it.
All right, let's talk Drillers baseball. The Drillers are on the road right now. They're in Springfield, had a doubleheader yesterday. But you guys are doing a rare Monday game because of Memorial Day weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. So instead of coming back on our standard Tuesday to start the homestand, we're going to play on Monday. We'll have an off day on Tuesday, and then we'll be back Wednesday through Sunday of next week. So, yeah, so we'll still have our 6 games, but we'll kick it off on Monday for Memorial Day. Early start time, too, 6:30, fireworks after the game to cap off the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it's a special day to do it on Memorial Day with the backdrop of downtown Tulsa at One Oak Field and the fireworks. Plenty of family things to do. Make sure you get your tickets at tulsadrillers.com. And then you resume the homestand on Wednesday at 7 o'clock with Northwest Arkansas. And you guys have a doubleheader next week.
We do have a doubleheader. Yeah, we had all that rain earlier. It's Friday night, so game one will be at 5. So school should be out. If you're coming out early, you can get 2 for the price of 1 next Friday. Fireworks will be Friday night like we usually do. Wednesday night's our first Bark in the Park night. We've had day games on all the Wednesdays, too. So for those who've been waiting to bring the dogs out to the game, Wednesday night will be that. Thursday with King Cabbage on Thursday. And we've got Memorial Day kind of like military appreciation flags we're giving away that day, too. Fireworks again on Saturday. Should be a huge week.
Yeah, so again, Drillers back in action starting Monday, a rare Monday game. Let's talk about some sports stuff. Man, Scotty Scheffler, #1 golf in the world, might have the most disastrous 48 hours from getting arrested to his caddy having to leave. I mean, just a mess of a performance. As someone who's around professional athletes, is it shocking to you, and I know you like the golf too, is it shocking to you to see a guy have so many missteps happen before the Super Bowl of golf?
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy situation, obviously, that happened there. But, you run into these stories all the time. I was just watching this documentary about the Yankees, and about like 3 of their guys got arrested in 1990 during the season. You think 3 major league players getting arrested. So, Scheffler running into it. He's at the top of the game. It's a big, big story, obviously. Just a crazy disaster. And then he came out and played pretty well in the first round, at least.
Yeah, and then the next day his caddy's like, hey, I got to go to my kid's graduation, and they end up having the PGA chaplain be his caddy, and he has not a great round.
No, exactly. I mean, it's crazy, but he's Scheffler. The guy's incredible, and he actually did better than anybody else probably would have under the circumstances. So he'll just come rolling back into it this weekend and probably take home the crown.
Yeah, I love the idea, though, of him doing his warm-ups in his orange jumpsuit in his holding cell. That is, I mean, what a moment that had to have been. I can't wait for the book on that.
Well, I don't know what his hometown minor league team is. I'm not that close to golf, so I don't know where he's from. But if it was my team, we'd definitely have a Scheffler bobblehead with him in his mugshot uniform.
Listen, the season's young, Mike. You guys could still do it, too.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, is there a rule at the ballpark? If you get hit with a foul ball, you get to keep the ball as a fan?
Well, you still have to catch it. I mean, you still have to maintain it. If some jerk comes over and lets you take one to the forehead and then they grab it and run away with it,
yes.
that's bad sportsmanship.
Well, the update on Liz McGuire, the Toronto Blue Jays fan who took a 110-mile-per-hour
All home
foul
about
ball.
that.
Yeah, she's now getting her own trading card.
Get out of here.
Yes,
That's great.
Yes, it's pretty cool. The photo is featured on the card is, of course, her massive bump just above her left eye.
Yeah, they if I remember right, they printed like 10 of them, and she's getting all 10 to do with as she wishes.
110 of
them.
them.
That's awesome.
Courtesy of the mile-per-hour ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that is awesome. I love it.
What is the protocol? I mean, maybe we're getting into the weeds that you don't want to talk about this, but when you get hit by a ball and it causes damage to you like that, what happens? What is the expected thing that happens? Do personnel come down and check and make sure you're okay, and that's the end of it? Do you get, like, if some kid does steal the ball, do you get another ball? Did we lose you, Mike?
On their health first and foremost, they're all trained. Yeah, I'm here. You got me?
Yeah, now we got you, yes.
Am I losing you?
No, we got you now.
Okay, so our ushers are trained. They go down there. If anybody gets hit in their section, the 2 ushers closest, they go over, check on it. They'll call for EMSA. We have EMSA on site at every game. They roll down there, take good care of them, and then, of course, we make sure that they get a souvenir once we find out that they're okay. But, the big thing is we added nets all the way down the baselines a few years ago, so it rarely happens nowadays. So that's been kind of nice and a relief to me.
Yeah, that has changed that element dramatically. I remember working there, and just the amount of balls that would get beamed into the first and third base side, the danger that came along with that is crazy. So now you guys have definitely eliminated that. But it's a pretty cool baseball card. Not everybody can say they have a Topps baseball card with their face on it.
Right.
Yeah, that'll make the hurt go away.
Absolutely. All right, Drillers back in action in One Oak Field on Monday for Memorial Day. Get your tickets at TulsaDrillers.com, and then they resume the homestand on Wednesday. Again, get your tickets, TulsaDrillers.com. Mike, have a great week.
Thanks, gang. You guys have a great weekend, too.
Take a break, and we'll be back.
Buzz to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More of the big... Across the face? That's going to
Get
hurt.
the buckle?
Oh, yeah. Well, the buckle's good for handle.
Oh, that's true.
I guess I think of the scene from Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When Jones is in the street and the guy has the sword and he goes...
He's all over here.
And he just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Right.
So...
Well, everybody knows you don't bring a belt to a gunfight. However...
Apparently you do.
The owner didn't have a gun.
One of them had a gun, right?
Yeah,
he
the
did.
bad guy had a gun, but he decided not to use the gun. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I'm going to take my belt off and whoop him like a step kid.
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay, so those are the three basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid?
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mash them together, it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years.
Okay.
Right?
Alrighty then.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
Wheel of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Charifs et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah,
Wow.
is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
he owed?
He like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well, it was a different time then.
Right. It changes. Empathy towards humans.
All right.
60 years is a long time, though, for a game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going? Because really, that's all that people are going because of the name. People are watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up, you know. Everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on Price is Right, because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
That makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel, earn points.
It's
Now,
the
how
same
they
game.
derive the letters and things like that, or on Jeopardy, can obviously change. But overall, it's the same game.
Yeah. There's no need to change it.
Tic-tac-toe, celebrity whatever, doesn't last because you get annoyed. You get annoyed with just because you're famous doesn't mean you're awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And some of these other shows, that's why I like Pyramid, and it runs its exhaustion level. That's why they don't do just Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. You want to see people that are like, quote unquote, you win.
Right. It gives you
Absolutely.
hope and a chance that you could be on that show someday and you could win that money.
The number of people that are like, to know someone to be on Wheel of Fortune is rare. Think about all the times they come through and recruit people, and then how many people from here actually get on the show? Not very many, if you think about it. So where do those people come from? Well, they recruit people. Some are up and coming actors. Like they tried because they have to fill it. Lindsay's tried to be on game shows before. One of the hardest parts about being on a game show is that you have to fly out on your own, put yourself up, and you might get on the show.
Right. They don't pay for you to be out there until you finally make the final cut.
And when you're on the show, you might just get the minimum, which is like $1,000 now or something like that, which you're like, that's a lot. It is a lot. Not after hotel and airfare and expenses.
In California.
In anywhere.
Yeah.
You go to any hotel, you're not gonna, even if you're gonna stay at the Comfort Inn.
Right.
And if you are, it's still $200. You're there a week. That's $1,000. It doesn't matter where it's at. You ain't staying at the Sunnyside Inn with the satellite dish painted yellow.
Right. With all the crackheads and whores.
Well, I mean, you can get that anywhere, any hotel, right? I saw this story circulating today about TikTok doctors warning the number one position for penile fractures. Number one, 50. I want to make sure I get that. I would hate to fumble this. It's the most dangerous sex position, according to science. It's the cause of 50% of penile fractures. 50.
That's a lot.
So of all the penile fractures that happen, half are because of this sex position. What do you think, Lindsay?
Doggy style.
Okay, Gimpy?
I am going to say it is the reversed cowgirl.
It is the reverse cowgirl.
Which is my favorite by far.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, all of them are good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even plain old vanilla is good.
Yeah. Yeah. The line of great is pretty thin from a guy's standpoint.
Right. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because they're not looking and paying attention. But are you really looking and paying attention even if you're facing forward? You know what I mean?
There's obviously no bones inside a penis. So it's a tear in the frenulum or the tunica albuginea.
Sure.
This is a rubbery sheath of tissue that allows for the penis to do what it does best. And that there is this new resurgence because of the doctor saying this on TikTok that people are like, oh, okay.
So they're seeing more broken boners now because of the TikTok?
No. The story of this being the number one sex position for a broken wee-wee.
Okay.
I've never had a fractured penis, so I don't know what that would be like.
It's not fun. I mean, it didn't break or anything.
You've had a fractured penis?
I don't want to say fractured, but, things didn't work out the way that it had, and it should have zigged when I should have zagged. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you're saying this. I was hoping you would say this.
Yeah.
How would you know you have a fractured penis? You would have to go to a doctor to know for sure. So, I'm pretty sure, I'm just making an assumption here, that Gimpy did not go to the doctor in regards to his penis situation.
No.
So it's a self-determined diagnosis.
Yeah, when you break an arm or a leg. When I slipped on the smallest patch of ice in the parking lot, there was an audible pop. That happened. And that's how I knew that I'd broken my leg. When I broke my tooth on vacation, there was an audible pop.
Yeah.
That allowed me to know that I broke my tooth. That and the tooth, fell on the floor or whatever. So when that happened, there was an audible pop that led me to believe that, oh yeah, this is definitely like I said, it wasn't broken or anything because there is no bone to break. It's just it hurt. It hurt. And it was out of commission for a couple weeks. And that sucked.
Sure.
But you're right. I didn't go to the doctor and be like, doctor, I think I broke my Peter.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that break bones and don't know they've broken a bone.
Right.
There are players, football players, that run on broken legs and don't know that they're broken until later.
Okay, so to me, broken and fractured are two totally different things. Like a hairline fracture, a small fracture, you can still perform with a fracture. But when I broke my leg, it was broke, floppy doppy.
Yeah.
There's no way I could stand on it.
Penile fracture is this term.
Yeah.
But, people say the same thing.
Yeah, say
fracture and broken, kind of, unless you're a medical doctor using it looks like you have a fracture or you have a broken arm.
Right. So with that,
because Dr. Stuck serious, that's why this voice works.
So when it comes to the penile fracture, I just said, most people can work through a fracture, a hairline fracture. There's no working through that one. That's just too sensitive of an area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how does it get fixed? You just ice it?
Just time.
Yeah, like a lot of breaks. Like if you broke your foot, you just don't do it. You just have to be careful.
Yeah,
You still have to walk.
on it.
The cast. Oof.
Right.
Not something I'm signing up for.
Right.
And having it removed. Pass. Hard pass.
Right, where they break out
Soft
that
pass.
stuff. Yeah. It won't cut you. Not taking a chance there, Doc. Teen arrested for setting hotel fire after fighting with mom. This also comes out of Florida, Ocala, Florida, where I guess...
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Happy 35th porn star birthday to Ashley Cash. This Texas blonde can be found in Backside Bounce 5. I was tight yesterday and Porn Star Paradise. She's received multiple award nominations honoring her backside.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Oh, good morning. You just got your first keyword to rock the bank. You can plug that in. The keyword is, let me come back over here real quick. I just saw it and I missed it. Happy. Happy. Why? Because they want you to go win $1,000. Anyhow, you got 8 other chances throughout the day to score. You just got to listen for the keyword, plug it in the website, therockskmood.com.
H-A what, why?
PP.
All right, let's go ahead and do our top list. We do it every Thursday at this time.
It's time for a Big Man Morning Show's top list. Random topics, randomly drawn with random results. Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with this week's top list.
This week's top list is game shows you'd like to be on. Lindsay mentioned applying for Wheel of Fortune. And so we thought, why not do game shows you'd like to be on?
Hell yeah.
Lindsay, what do you got?
Number 5, press your luck. No whammies, stop.
Yeah, that's back on the air right now, right? With, what's her name? Yeah, she's the, I'm going to put my bike in your trunk girl from,
Yeah.
40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah, she's the host of that, if I'm not.
Okay.
Zach and Miri
Press
make a
your
porno.
luck. Press your luck.
That
yeah.
movie. What is her name? Anyway, the blonde, cute. There's like no skill. You just got to be lucky. And I believe they have that at Hard Rock Casino. You can play that game.
I mean, it does take skill.
I mean, it's more of luck, though.
That's why you press your...
Yeah, but you don't want to press.
They
Sure.
don't call it press your skill, Corbin. Come on.
Right.
All right, so that's number 5.
Elizabeth Banks is her.
Yes,
Thank you.
Elizabeth Banks. Number 4, Bull S. Edited, obviously, on Netflix. Hosted by Howie Mandel.
Okay, that's a new one.
Yes. It's a trivia game, but you don't really have to know anything. You just have to pretend that you do, and you have to fool people into thinking that you do. They have 1 contestant and then 3 judges, and you're asked questions, and whether you know it or not, you lock in your answer, and then the 3 people on the panel guess whether or not you know it. And whether they think you do or not, you win money.
Okay. I think we've all played a version of that game before.
Yeah, when you play cards, they have that game.
Well, not only that, there's the, what's the one where the people try to tell you their jobs, and you got to guess? So one of them's lying,
yeah.
or 2 of them are lying, right? So it's kind of like a variation of that. I have not heard good things about that show.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it. Number 3 is Family Feud.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey is a pretty funny host on that show.
Yeah.
He would be a good time, I think. But even Dawson, when he was alive.
Sexual assault, yeah.
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 You want to get kissed by him?
Sure. Why not?
Grouped.
How many family members are you going to have? I mean, who are the other family members? Because you get 5,
Yes.
including yourself.
I would take my husband.
Sure.
I would take I would want someone, I feel like I would want someone young, just in case it's more like what if they ask something about?
What does Riz mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So-
but that doesn't mean anything. You could get the Riz question when you're up there.
That is true.
Sure.
That is true.
Sure.
So, okay, you'd like someone young.
Yeah,
so
I'll take Marcus.
your favorite,
And
yes.
I would take my mom. And I'll take probably my cousin Tracy. Or her son Quinn, probably, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it would be a really good time.
Because anytime people say that they want that's who they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always the hardest part to go, who do I take?
Right. Somebody's going to get pissed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Jealous.
And number 2, Wheel of Fortune.
Number 2.
Yeah, I figured that'd be number 1.
Yeah.
Nah, it's been around forever. Yes.
I mean, out of all the shows that you've mentioned so far, that's the only one you've applied to be on. So that's why I assumed it'd be number 1.
Not true.
I mean, for Lindsay, who is at least in this group, the habitual game show submitter.
Okay.
On this group.
For sure.
Right? If you do it once, you are. So, of the ones you've mentioned so far, Wheel of Fortune, Press Your Luck, Family Feud,
And BS.
Which ones have you applied for?
Wheel of Fortune. Family Feud.
Wow.
You have applied for Family Feud?
Yeah, back probably 10 years ago, probably. And this next one. And I would have been on it. And then the pandemic happened.
That damn
The
thing.
giant jump, but okay.
All 3 rounds of Beat Shazam.
You mean of the interview process?
Yes. And then the pandemic happened. They said, wait, March 20th through the 23rd, we will be getting a hold of you.
Right.
And the world shut down.
Right. Well, that doesn't mean you were going to be on it.
No, it doesn't.
But I love
That
the
was
idea of
third-
selling it.
That was the 3 of the interviews done, process over.
And so did
This
you,
is it.
when the world resumed, did you contact them again?
No, because they get a hold of you. And it was
but Squeaky Wheel gets the
they
oil.
were on hiatus for a year. I had no way of contacting them. Everything that we had done was done on Zoom.
Yeah, but they were sending you emails and you were sending them emails, right?
It was all on Zoom.
And
everything.
why not?
There was no
Yeah, but
email.
you contacted them initially at some point, is what I'm saying.
Yes. And I probably did and just never heard back.
So apply again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love to.
Yeah, that is a good game.
Is that
so
game
fun.
still on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still going?
He just started hosting it again.
Yeah.
He's a great host.
Hollywood
Jamie
Game
Foxx.
Night was another one that I don't think that one is on anymore. And that was hosted by the real tall actress who was on Glee. She played the gym teacher on Glee.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Let's go with
Jane
the
Lynch.
Yes, Jane
let's go with a
Lynch.
more audience-friendly reference. She was the counselor for the 2 guys that with the Stifler and
American
Paul
Pie.
Rudd. No, Paul Rudd, and they sell
the
Minotaur
energy
energy
drink.
energy
Yes,
drink.
Yes. I forget the name of that movie.
Role models.
Role models, yes.
Yeah.
All right movie. Just all right.
Yeah, but just a better reference than Glee, I
Yeah.
think.
I never
right,
watched
right.
Glee. I just knew that she was on that.
She was also a 40-year-old virgin.
Yes, even better reference.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing top list game shows you'd like to be on. Gimpy.
Number 5 here is Double Dare. Remember that one from back in the day? Ever since, man, I've always wanted to be on that game. You get your parents on there and get them slimed. Hell yeah. But, of course, my parents are no fun. They had all the fun without me. So we never went on that.
Yeah, they probably were on it and just never told you.
Right, and then avoid it all at all cost. Hey, I know it's 6 o'clock at night, but it's time for bed, so they can watch themselves on TV. Anyway, Double Dare. Number 4 is the Pyramid.
Nice.
$1,000, $10,000 pyramid.
$50,000.
$50,000. I know there's some money involved in there, but it's basically snip, snap, schnur.
100%. The game is 100% based off that game.
And I feel I could do pretty good. as long as my contestants are all there.
Sure. And you're giving good clues.
Whatever. But yeah, I remember watching that with my ma growing up, and it seemed like a lot of fun to be on that show. So yeah, number 4 is the pyramid. Number 3 here is Let's Make a Deal. Now that's another one that I watched growing up with the old Monty Hall days.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I still watch it now with Wayne Brady.
Yes.
And it's just something about it. I think it's the costumes, the energy, all the stuff. Hope not to get a zonk. Of course, that's what everybody wants is to not get a zonk. But hey, whatever. If you can take home a 100-foot ceramic hot dog, why the hell not?
Have you ever gone online and seen the list of things that you're supposed to take with you if you ever go into the audience?
No, I just imagine you're going to have to take a bunch of different things.
Yes.
I'll have to dig into that.
The list is long.
It was like a paper clip and,
Right.
If you got a toothbrush on you, who the hell carries a toothbrush on?
Right.
But I guess if that's the case,
That show is so perplexing to me.
Why's that?
Just because, as you pointed out, with you've got to have. Do you just go with a bunch of crap in your purse?
Yeah.
That's so weird. And production of anything, if you've ever been to a live television show or a recording of a television show, or it takes forever.
Yeah.
Truth.
But hey, you could win some really cool prizes.
Or a goat.
Hey, goat's a good prize. You get all kinds of things from a goat.
Okay, so this is off topic. I have this weird itch that I need to get scratched where I want to convince my wife to move somewhere with more land and get a donkey.
Hold up. You won't let the kids have a dog, but you want to move someplace to have a donkey, which is way more work to take care of.
No, it's not.
Than a dog.
No, it's not. I don't have to board a donkey.
Okay.
The donkey isn't coming in the house.
There's already one in there.
Truth on that. But don't talk to my wife that way.
Hey. She's a good lady.
Shut your mouth. I'm just saying that's not the same.
Yeah,
That's like having chickens. To imply that having a dog and owning a dog is anywhere in the same boat as having a farm animal.
So as long as it can pretty much take care of itself, you're good to go, right?
They're just cool. Donkeys are cool.
Yeah, man. You could saddle them up and ride them into town like Festus from
Well,
Gunsmoke, for sure.
you're not riding them into town, let's be clear.
Kevin wants to do the same thing, but for chickens.
Chickens are notoriously constantly sick, and a giant pain.
And
Thank you.
They are, and the poop, right?
Yeah.
And the constant threat. But if you have a chicken, that's a good reason to get a donkey because they will protect the chickens.
Right.
Sorry.
No worries. I like the idea of you having a pet donkey.
Yeah.
Number 2, I also have.
I got 2.
Right. And I resemble that remark. I'm okay with it. I'll own my donkeyness.
Donkeyness.
Number 2 is Press Your Luck. Now, I have been traumatized by this goddamn game show, Press Your Luck. I've always liked it. I like the animations of the gremlins or whatever the hell that they are, the whammies.
Yeah.
I always thought that was great. I like the idea, no whammies, stop. I had an asshole of a stepdad. It was my mom's second husband. I think I've told the story on the air before.
I don't know if I remember this. Okay, I forgot she had another.
Yeah.
You had another dad.
Yeah. It was, I was maybe, let's see, she married the dad that I called dad. I was like 6. So I was like maybe 4 or 5 when they were together. But this asshole, listen to this, man. Son of a bitch. He would get us boys in a headlock. Boom, in a headlock. And then noogie your head.
Yeah, I remember that you telling us,
No whammies. And then with his open palm, wham, right on top of your noggin. Stop.
Yeah.
And just out of nowhere would do that as constantly.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
Right.
It was. That guy traumatized me in more ways than I probably should have ever. But anyhow.
So if you're saying calling you gimpy or talking about your arm, totally fine. You have become normed to that.
Yes, absolutely.
But if I put you in a headlock, we will see Gimp
that's a
arm
fight.
strength.
Oh, it's a fight. It's a fight.
Everybody's
It's
got
a
that one
fight.
thing where they'll go, I'm serious.
For real. You son of a bitch. That right
Duly
there,
noted.
Yeah, has traumatized me for the past 40 years.
It'll
almost
turn
30
to
something years.
no whammies, stop in the junk.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
whammies, go F yourself. Pow! Get out of here. And the number one, which I did look into applying for, right? Applying to. And it was an early 2000s game show. I don't think they do it anymore. But I was really good at this game, at least playing at home I was anyway. And that's So You Think You're Smarter Than a Fifth Grader. Now, I get so far on those questions, just rattling them
Right.
off. Now, of course, obviously, if you're doing it in real life and, things might be a little different. And I'm not saying that I got all the questions right, but I felt I did good enough at least to check into it and say, hey, what do I need to do to be a contestant on this game show? And that's when I learned about the game show industry, that you've got to interview a few times. You got to fly yourself out there. You've got to put yourself up in a hotel a couple of times. And at least with that particular one, it was like, hey, yeah, if you get chosen like on your final round or whatnot, we'll go ahead and pay for everything. And that's when I said, yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to go on that show. So there you go.
All right. We're doing top list game shows you'd like to be on. I was debating whether to take one off that you guys have already mentioned, but I think I'm going to leave it. All right, so number 5 on my list is Wipeout. I've talked about this on the air. I just think it's a funny show. I have no belief that I would do well on it. My wife thinks I'm insane for wanting to go on that show, but they get these people that feels like they have zero athletic ability,
Right.
and thinking that they can, sprint across these giant inflatable balls. And I know I wouldn't do good, but man, I feel like I do better than some of these people.
And it looks fun.
It does look fun.
It does, until you get scorpioned between two giant balls
Yeah.
and, slide yourself down into the water.
Nothing's more fun than a concussion.
Oh, right?
Number 4, kind of in the same camp, American Gladiator.
Oof.
Okay.
I don't think I would do well, but tell me how funny it would be to see them try to smash me when I'm trying to put that ball in that tube.
Right.
Right? And I guarantee I can stop faster than they can. There's no way their ACLs and MCLs are tight.
No, they work on their tops and their legs.
That's right. They squeak.
Muscles, yeah. But they have giant tennis ball cannons to shoot at you.
Oh, right? That's the obstacle course was my favorite.
I loved it watching it grow up. And I think they brought it back for a little while.
It did not have the same oomph.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
No, it was not.
Number 3, can't believe it didn't get mentioned. I would annihilate this game. Unlike the previous 2, I feel so confident I could win, and that is Supermarket Sweep.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I feel like I would annihilate in that game.
Yeah.
I would love to go. I don't know why they don't bring it back.
Yeah, maybe they should.
I feel like they did. It was on like Lifetime or something.
But
Are you sure you would do that great if you have all your groceries delivered?
Well, obviously
you're
that's not the game.
But it is, because you're there. You're in the store, and you got to go aisle to aisle. You got to know where stuff is.
Yeah, again, I think that no, you don't have to know where stuff is. It's pretty easy. It's not like, I'm going to ask for, Lowry's street taco seasoning. And I got to stand in front of the taco, all the mixes, and go,
Right, you're just going for big ticket items, right?
Yes.
That's the thing. You're just trying to get the most out of it. Yeah.
Meat, laundry soap. Maybe that's why that game show went away, because everybody figured it out and was like, laundry soap and meat, man.
Yeah.
I guess they did bring it back. No, they brought it back from 2020 to 2022. So a couple of years ago, they brought it back, and they had that Leslie, what's her nuts, the black lady from Saturday Night Live that showed up to everybody. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah.
I was not aware of the clue you gave, but yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. I know the person. I don't know the clue you're referencing.
Oh, you want a picture? I'll show it to you.
Nope. Number 2 on my list is also on Netflix. I think it would be so fun to go on, like the 3 of us to go on for sure would be absolutely so much fun, and that is The Floor is Lava.
Okay.
It is an obstacle course game. with water, but they depict it as lava, and you've got to do these pretty intense obstacles, and you got to jump and try to make it in a time scenario to the end, and the best times go on to the finals to win a trophy. And they play if you fall into the lava, you die. It's pretty funny. And that would be, to me, a lot of fun to go on, because that's probably one of the ones I watch and go, I think I can handle this. What are they doing? Why are they going that way?
Right. Until you get in there, you're like, wow.
And then number one on the list has already been mentioned. And I remember being a kid begging my parents to go on this game show, and that's Double Dare. And why this doesn't live, either Mark Summers was the magic of that show.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Mark Summers owns the show and he ain't letting anybody resurface it.
That might be the case.
Because why that doesn't resurface, especially with the success of Floor's Lava on Netflix, I can't figure that out.
Yeah, because they still use slime at Nickelodeon events.
Yeah, but slime was one part of it.
Right.
Most of it was giant sundaes.
I agree.
But to me, that game show is awesome. I would love to go on that with my family, of course. Oh,
yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to know game shows you'd like to be on. Feel free to text it to us, BMMS, and whatever that is, to 82945. Somebody texted in Family Feud, Deal or No Deal, Press Your Luck, and Guts. Yeah, Guts was kind of like American Gladiator, but it was on Nickelodeon.
I was going to say, I don't remember that show.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Let's rock. More of the Big Mad Morning.
Right? Like a lot. MDF is a real product.
Uh-huh.
And that's pulp, essentially, right?
Yeah. I just don't know if I want to live in a house that's made of pulp and Siemens.
Flights from Chicago to Hamburg will only take 18 hours.
I've never flown from Chicago to Hamburg, so I do not know.
I think it's like 8 or 10, maybe.
Okay.
Newspapers will have been out of business for 50 years.
Wow. I mean,
They didn't get
they're half right.
Yeah.
Private kitchens will disappear.
Private kitchens.
Yeah, they're citing articles, by the way. I'm reading from an article.
Okay.
The private kitchen will disappear. Tomorrow's food will be seasoned and prepared by chemical formulas.
Hello, Fresh.
Which will preserve the freshness of fruits and meats, rid them of indigestible qualities, and send them to the table ready to use. Instead of sauces that merely cozen the palate, we shall have delectable blends of concentrated vitamins, calories, ferments, and tissue tonics.
Ew.
I mean, we have all that now, right?
Yeah, we do.
Look at like Frank's.
Yeah.
It is a tissue tonic,
Okay.
if you will. The tissue of your tongue.
Got it. Okay.
Cancer will be eradicated.
I wish.
Cancer, tuberculosis, infantile paralysis, locomotor ataxia, and leprosy will be eradicated.
I don't think any of those are eradicated at all whatsoever.
I mean, we pretty much handled tuberculosis pretty well.
Yeah, and I'm sure we got a good
And
handle on
leprosy.
leprosy.
I think leprosy's,
But there's still places in the world. When you say eradicated, I'm thinking it's like gone completely from the world, nowhere around it all whatsoever. Now, I'm sure there's third world countries where TB's still a thing, where leprosy's still a thing.
War will be wireless, and we might have telepathy or telepathy.
I like telepathic idea, but I mean, wireless, think about it.
War is
Cyber
wireless.
It is
yeah.
wireless, yeah.
People will communicate using watched-size radio telephones.
Wow.
Watched size radio
I can answer the phone on my watch.
Yes,
I can
you
answer the phone on mine.
How fun are those, huh?
Yeah.
So they weren't too far off. Now, here's the problem with a thread like this.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the ones that were way off?
Right, of course.
Right?
Of course. But they don't want those. Those aren't as interesting.
And they're only showing by 2023. I can't cite what year that came out of.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just whatever the thread. Again, anything on the internet, man, you might as well just go with not true.
Right.
You're like, that might be true. Probably not. Might be. Right? I was in a little Twitter conversation with somebody about the Twitter files. And yeah, there's definitely some corruption being illustrated in those files. But one, Elon Musk picked which articles to release. 2, picked the reporters to have go through them and release them. And he's hardly the most honest individual. And corruption, being in corporate America, is hardly a gotcha moment.
Right. It's kind of been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
Rugby player loses his favorite testicle in freak accident. Jack Johnson is the guy's name.
Making banana pancakes.
Not to be confused with the singer. He's a rugby star with the Newcastle Thunder over in England, and he was violently, he violently lost something extremely close to him in what he calls a freak accident during training. His favorite testicle, which is the left one, reportedly exploded after taking a direct shot from a knee. It had to be removed.
This isn't the first time this has happened in rugby.
No, that's
it
a
happens a
violent
lot.
sport, man.
It happens, and I guess they don't wear cups, or only pussies do. I guess I don't know. So I do jiu-jitsu, right? And I wear a cup, and I can tell it annoys some of the guys.
Why? Because when they kick you, it goes donk.
Yeah, or like when you're changing positions, that like there's a move where you put your knee into their stomach or on their sternum.
Yeah.
And that sometimes your foot will then hit their balls.
Yeah.
And I just don't want people's appendages on my balls.
Sure.
Sorry.
Makes sense.
But if I'm
Is
in
it
rugby,
ticklish or what?
but I gotta say, if there is a if there's a chance, if I did radio broadcasting and there was a chance I could rupture a testicle doing it, I'm wearing a cup to protect my balls.
Absolutely.
And these are ones of pros that this is happening to.
You have no use for yours right now at all whatsoever. I mean, the path has been blocked.
Yeah,
So
I have
the-
had a vasectomy,
Yeah,
yes.
the use for your boys is null right now.
Yeah.
But I get it.
No,
you kind of grown attached to them over the years.
It's the mental part.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have one less testicle, you're half a man.
That is true.
And you're going to feel that way. It's been documented.
Well, some men feel that if they have a vasectomy, they feel like less of a man.
I've never felt that.
Well,
I got 2 reminders.
Right. I'm not saying that you do, but there's some guys out there that,
I've never heard anybody say that. Maybe they do, but I've never heard a guy say that.
well, fortunately for Jack Johnson, he kept his sense of humor. He says that the team season has been a testy one, and we've not been on the ball as we should have been. Yeah. Poor guy.
That's got to be painful.
I'm sure.
Imagine it does.
I'm sure.
Just getting grazed
Oh, yeah.
is a painful experience.
Yeah.
Let alone a testicular rupture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Band name.
Yeah.
Hello, we are testicular rupture.
Yeah.
It is a good band name.
A guy sprained my ankle, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I pull a muscle. I know. My rotator cuff. I can identify that. It's just painful. That's all I can identify.
That's it.
It's my testicle. It's painful. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Nothing
Right?
more, nothing less.
Classic Eddie Murphy, man. Guys get hit in the balls. If it's just you barely graze it, guys will go, "But did that just hit my?" Ah!
Is that like when you get it twisted, when one gets twisted? Like,
Oh no,
that's a different thing.
That can happen while you're sleeping.
yeah, that happened to a kid in school, in elementary school.
Yeah.
And he had to have it removed, I think.
It typically, if it can't be, which it's weird to say this with you're using a child reference, is
Yeah.
it has to be massaged.
Oh.
And then, but a surgery sometimes is necessary to untie it.
Testicular torsion
Yeah.
occurs when the testicle rotates, twisting the spermatic cord that brings blood to the scrotum. Reduced blood flow causes sudden and often severe pain and swelling. Testicular torsion is most common between the ages 12 and 18, but can occur at any age, even before birth.
So
Wow.
like what happened is like a Karen went to God and was like, "Hey, this feels hardly fair.
Yeah.
Once a month I'm bleeding." 460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 822-948-9445. By now, I think everybody's aware that Red Lobster is in kind of a predicament.
It's just a skosh.
And that they're going to have to close some, if not all, locations. And people love to go with it's because they did endless shrimp. Though that is part of the reason, it isn't the exclusive reason. A lot of people aren't aware that they've had 5 CEOs in 6 years, and they just had a lot of problems. You got to pay, 4 CEOs their golden parachute. That doesn't bode well financially.
Right.
So, but they've got someone that's going to save them.
Really?
It's going to save the day.
Really?
Elon Musk.
No. He doesn't feel, those two don't feel like Red Lobster guys.
True. Yeah,
They don't look like they're in for the shrimp scampi. People don't realize not only do we owe Red Lobster for Cheddar Bay biscuits, we also owe them for popcorn shrimp. There would not be popcorn shrimp without Red Lobster. Now, we could, of course, go philosophical and say if someone else would have created it, but the reason there's popcorn shrimp is because of Red Lobster. When I was little, that's what I went there for. I would get popcorn shrimp.
Deep fried, golden goodness.
Yeah.
Crab legs.
Bite-sized little pieces.
I mean, not as a kid. I'm not eating crab legs.
Oh, I am.
So somebody has come to save the day. Flavor Flav.
Oh, boy.
Says he wants to save Red Lobster.
Well, good. Good for him.
He posted to his 150,000 Twitter followers. I'll say that again.
Well, yeah. I was like, wait a minute, only that many, huh?
150,000. That he said, yo! I'm not making that up. I'm reading the tweet. Yo, comma. I use my platform to help others. And now I want to use it to help save one of America's greatest dining dynasties. Yo, at Red Lobster, call me. I got you.
Okay. Well, good for him.
Now, as Lindsay pointed out, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, not on brand.
Right.
Flavor Flav, on brand.
Totally on brand.
And I love him for it.
Yeah.
I love that he's doing God's work.
Yeah.
We going to eat large tonight, Flav. Where we going? Red Lobster.
Dude, give me some shrimp scampi and some pilaf.
For real, man. Red Lobster's just all right.
I think it's good.
I do too.
Okay. I've only eaten there a small handful of times. It was all right. It's better than Captain Disease. I'll give you that.
If we were giving, okay, let's just play a quick little game.
Okay.
Name a sit-down restaurant.
Okay.
On whether you like it or not. And it's just thumbs up, thumbs down. Can't be in the middle.
Okay.
Can't squander. Can't give me a story about when you were 5. It is a thumbs up and thumbs down. Red Lobster, Lindsay.
Thumbs up.
Gimpy.
Begrudgingly give it a thumbs up because I do like seafood.
Looking at you, Gimpy.
Looking at you, Gimpy.
Yeah.
You just did the thing we were going to crush Lindsay for.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for me. Give a restaurant. I'll give another one. You think of a restaurant, Lindsay.
That one.
Village Inn.
Thumbs up.
Gimpy.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Lindsay.
Olive Garden.
Gimpy.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
Gimpy.
Joe's Crab Shack. Thumbs up for me.
Lindsay.
What was it?
Joe's Crab Shack.
Crab Shack.
If you've never
Thumbs
been,
down.
Yeah, if you've never been, it's thumbs down. Thumbs down. It freaks me out going in there.
I've been maybe twice.
Okay. How about? I'm trying to think of another, because I think Olive Garden's a great one to put in there. I think that's a great name drop of a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So how about IHOP?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs up, man. It's like, yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's breakfast.
Yeah. And lunch.
And dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have another one, Lindsay?
Applebee's.
Gimpy.
Oof, I'll give it a thumbs up. It's a thumbs up.
I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Thumbs down.
If I was asked to go eat there, I'd be like, okay.
Thumbs down.
Okay, Gimpy.
Waffle House. Thumbs up.
Lindsay?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
Am I drunk?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can't put any of those quantifiers in it.
Uh-huh.
It has to be a straight thumbs up. All right, Outback Steakhouse.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs all the way up, bruh.
Yeah, those Aussies know how to cook a steak, huh?
I'm telling you.
Thumbs up. Another one, Lindsay?
Cheesecake Factory.
Oof. Thumbs down.
Lindsay?
Thumbs up.
Yes, thumbs up.
Yeah.
They're in their third act, man.
Yeah, right. If you get past 40 pages of a menu.
Hey, don't be intimidated by size, Gimpy. We're all wonders.
We got to text Chili's.
Ooh, that's good.
Thumbs down.
I'll give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs down.
Yeah. Oh, well, my baby back.
That is the beauty. That's the beauty of this conversation is like, listen, not everything's for everybody. So
yeah, for sure.
It is what it is.
I got one.
Go.
Cheddars.
Ooh. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs down.
Ooh.
Okay.
Breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart.
I love the idea that you're like people are getting their feelers hurt.
Yeah. How about Red Robin?
Okay.
Up.
I say thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs down.
Oh, you can eat fries.
Yeah, they're horrible.
No.
So girthy.
Not girthy.
Again, you with your intimidation of size.
Right.
Is speaking huge
volumes, yeah.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel.
I'll give that a thumbs up for sure.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
How about Texas Roadhouse?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs all the way up.
Thumbs down.
That's my go-to spot, man.
Yeah? Is that your date night spot?
Well, it's maybe not my date night spot, but if I want a steak and a potato and a salad, my God, that's where I'm going before anywhere else. It's always busy from the time they open to the time they close. It doesn't stop.
I mean, you get everything there.
Yes, you can.
A rug,
but
a rocking chair, and a roaring 200,000-degree fire. Bob Evans.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. I've never heard of it.
What?
What? I've never heard of this place.
Huh.
Thumbs down. TGI Fridays.
When they existed, up.
Down.
So thumbs up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
It was not good.
Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah, I've eaten there before. Okay.
I can't. Down.
Yeah, it's a thumbs down for me.
Yeah, total thumbs down. Let's go old school.
Okay.
Chi-Chi's.
Down.
Chi-Chi's?
Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant.
I've never heard of this, so I'm going to have to say thumbs down.
Yeah, it was like an Aztecan designed restaurant.
Okay.
And so you thought it was good. Texas de Brazil. There's one in Woodland Hills Mall.
Yeah, I'll say up.
I've heard good things, but I've never been there, so I have to say thumbs down.
I'm a thumbs down. I'm not a fan of people bringing something to my table and going, would you like me to cut you off a slice?
Well, yeah.
As you've
raised that flag, sir.
As you've carried it throughout the restaurant with people chewing. Yeah. Suburban sit-down restaurants is what I saw this classified as. That's pretty good.
That's fun.
Suburban sit-downs. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
More of the Big Man Morning Show.
G. That's all it is. These are all the ones. I just found them on Google.
Sure.
I just simply Googled day spa and then Googled dispensaries and then found a bunch of them that are really close.
I just couldn't hear. I didn't hear you because you were going so fast. I didn't hear you. I didn't know it was
I wonder
letters.
what that stands for.
I have no idea. Nonetheless, moving forward, 918 Elevate, day spa or dispensary. 918 Elevate.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Corbin's in a lead, 3-2. One Love Wellness, day spa.
Corbin.
You got to pick it up, Lindsay. Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, One Love Wellness is indeed a dispensary. Yes. Corbin killing it right now. Lotus Blossom,
Corbin.
day spa or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Ah, you are wrong, my friend.
You might need to.
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa.
Go
ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a dispensary called Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold. Not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
semantics,
they're
sure.
so close. All right, Indigo, day spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo, Lindsay is a day spa. So far, it's 4-2, Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone, day spa
Lindsay.
or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay, you are correct on a comeback.
I've been there.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Right, of course. All right, Rosebuds, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm going to go dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct. Rosebuds is a dispensary, tied up 4-4. Jade Wellness Center, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a wellness, or that is a day spa.
Corbin. Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the information that
who
was
cares if
given.
it's accurate?
Yeah. All right, Nature's Kiss, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right, so we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweet, right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes you know it smells like
You're
a fig.
thinking medical marijuana.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right. Whew. All right. Remember, this is for a big prize at the end of the at the end of the game here. You are going to love the prize that I have chosen.
Leftovers.
Okay.
Right, it's a roach.
Right. Right.
Bong
and
water.
not the one you smoke.
It's the crumbs.
Laura Apothecary, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay is incorrect. The
Yeah, it's a
Laura
spa.
Apothecary is a day spa. Lucky Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That's a dispensary.
Lucky Garden, Corbin is a day spa. So far, we got 6 to Corbin and 5 to Lindsay. The Health Center, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct. You sound like you've been there before.
To me, the name was just so obvious. There's no way you're going to call an actual spa that.
Right, the Health Center. Supreme Heights, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct. All right, so we're looking at 8-5, Lindsay.
Okay.
All right, we're down in the home stretch of this thing. All right. The Enchanted Cottage, day
Corbin.
spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin is incorrect. That is a day spa.
Why are people calling here asking if we have weed?
Got any specials on an ounce, man?
It's called Enchanted.
Wildflower, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right, Clover Patch Tulsa, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
What's the score?
6-8, Corbin's
Okay.
lead. All right, the Merry Mind, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a dispensary. All right, the Relax Station, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9-6. Path to Wellness, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Is that the
wellness.
problem?
No, I thought I said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Hairloom, day spa or dispensary? Hairloom, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Hairloom is a day spa. You're still in the lead, 9-6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Day
Spa.
spa or dispensary. The Tulsa Garden is a day spa. Good job, Lindsay.
Score.
We're looking at 9-7, Corbin's lead. Bella Roma Medical, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin, Bella Roma Medical is a...
Apparently. Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Chi-Chi's went out of business, and I'm surprised. A place like that should have done better with that type of name. And also, poor Karen, Miss Reed might be found guilty of killing her boyfriend based on her name alone. She is, after all, a Karen.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
Well, I learned that if you take some balls to the face, you can get something for it. And I also learned that Corbin needs some land for all that ass that he wants to get.
I learned why they call it Olive Garden.
Why's that?
Because all of it sucks. And I also learned you can't be happy without the pee-pee.
That's right.
It's Corbin saying make sure that dishwasher's loaded right.
Lindsay, stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Ready?
10 to 8. I'll go ahead and give you the last one, see if you can guess it. Stonebrook Day Spa or